Welcome, friends, to the Tuesday show. My name's David.
And
David Graham.
Are you adding
Continue.
more? Okay,
No,
okay. And I'm James Chen. How's everybody going?
David P. Graham.
David P. No, David by Graham, right?
Oh, yeah, you know what? That's a good one. I like it. Today we're going to be talking about a few different things. Of course, the last weekend was the Tekken World Tour Finals, which was pretty great.
Oh, yeah. So before we get started, just want to apologize to everyone, especially on the podcast front, about the buzz. You know, that's, like I said, is a known problem. So I have to grab a whole new soundboard here or figure out what's going on. But for now, it's just there, so I apologize.
All right. We're going to talk about the Tekken World Tour, not just the results, but also other stuff that happened there, some cool announcements and the like. We're going to talk about my experience at the Gamers' Choice Awards, which are actually going to air on Sunday, but may have already been recorded in advance.
What happened there? Or are we going to find out on December 9th?
Yeah, I'll get into it. We're also going to talk a little bit about Smash Ultimate. The game comes out officially on Friday, although some of us have already had access to the game.
Not me.
Not me, but I've talked with people who have.
Okay.
We'll talk a little bit about some other stuff as well. There are other topics to discuss too, but let's start with the Tekken World Tour.
Yes.
The finals happened in Amsterdam over the past weekend.
That's right. It was a 2-day event, essentially. So the first day was the last chance qualifiers, which they didn't have last year. So this was new this year. They gave everyone a chance to get into that last 20th spot, basically. Yeah. 19 players were. So there was originally, if I'm not mistaken, there was 16 players last year. There's 4 people in each pool. This year they're expanding it to 5 people in each pool, and they added one last chance qualifier spot. And that was played out between 320 plus people. Played out for the last chance qualifiers in Amsterdam. So a bunch of people flew out there for that. They played that, and then from there, that person was added into the mix. And then they had 4 pools of 5 players each. The top 2 records came out of that into a top 8 bracket. And that's where they played out all the way till we got a champion.
Before we get to the rest of it, what do you think about that format?
I love it. I love it because I feel, obviously you're sad because not everybody can play everybody, but, I feel you get more matchups than you even do with a traditional, double elimination bracket. And you know what? Frankly, as long as that there are different formats out there, I think that's cool. I think it kind of throws a little bit of a variety in there. If it's only double elimination, it's like, okay, that's cool. We've seen this before, but I think that, I wasn't even looking, and I reached down and I touched something fuzzy, and it's my cat over here running down.
Oh, on the left.
Okay. Yeah,
on the other side. I see.
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
Sorry.
All right.
Yeah, all right.
I'm a little disappointed. I love it too, and I agree. I think it's great that there is variety in that way. That's one of the things that's the best about the FGC is that we have all sorts of different scenes and rules and whatnot. And this is a great example of that. I also love that you get to see the players more, like you said. I think that it's a great way to get more time as the player, getting more experience up there, playing against more people than you otherwise would have in that kind of situation if it were just double elim, where a quarter of people go 0-2.
Right.
Definitionally. And as the viewer, it's cool too because you get to see more of each of those players as well. So I think it's good on both sides.
Right.
I also really like that they had it so that the winner of the pool gets to winner's side top 8.
Yeah.
The second place gets to loser's side top 8. And even then within them, their relative numbers of games help to seed where they would end up. So I think that's such a smart way to do it. It makes each of the games matter. Right. That you play in the pool stage, and then it ends up in the double elim top 8, which we're accustomed to. So I loved it. I think it's a really great compromise.
Let me ask you this though. So last year at the Tekken World Tour Finals, they just had the 4 seeds, the top 4 seeds, separated into 4 different pools, right? During the pool phase, and then people jumped into the pools that way. It was the same thing where the top seeded player would come up and pick which pool they went into. This year they actually hid the top 4 seeds. They were question marks in the pool. So the people joining the pools had no idea which of those top 4 seeds was in their pools. Do you like that change, or do you think it was kind of unnecessary? Do you feel like it added anything to it?
I think, like, theoretically, I think it could be cool, but I wasn't awake at that time because that's not a time that people should be up. So as a human, I wasn't awake for it. But did you get a chance to see it?
I was up.
Yes,
I was up.
joke landed.
Sure.
All
yes.
right.
For sure, I was up. I was up until, honestly, I watched the first 2 sets of pools, and then I fell asleep for the next 2.
I watched the second 2. All right.
We've covered it all, baby. We've covered it all. And then I woke up and watched the top 8.
Okay.
Although I did fall asleep like around winners finals, grand finals time because I was just lying in bed trying to stay awake watching it. But, you know.
Yeah.
But so I thought it was kind of neat. I thought it was kind of neat to have that kind of hidden thing. I don't think it added anything to the strategy of which pools they would necessarily go in because I liked it last year when JDCR was the favorite and someone was like, JDCR pool.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I kind of like that aspect of it. There was something cool about the end where it's like, reveal, here's the, but I don't think it added anything to it. You know what I mean? I felt like it was mostly the same.
Was there gamesmanship about who went into which pool?
Not really.
Didn't really seem like it?
It felt like it was just some people were trying to go into certain pools and I don't know. It just ended up being the same thing, except they were avoiding the other people that have picked pools. You know what I mean? So it wasn't, now I'm trying to avoid Ni or Kudans.
Right,
now I'm trying to avoid. Right, now I'm trying, because JDCR wasn't in top 4. So like JDCR is here, so I'm not going to want to go up against JDCR.
Right, that makes sense.
Et cetera, et cetera. So,
okay.
Although I will say this, I loved the way that the pools just happened to turn out because not counting the top 4 seeds when they were question marks, I think there were 5 Koreans and then everybody else was non-Koreans, right? So no matter what, every pool was going to have at least one pool was going to have at least 2 Koreans in it, no matter what, not counting the top 4 seeds, right? It turned out that every pool had no repeat country at all except for the 2 Koreans in the one pool.
I did not realize that.
Yeah, it was
That's
actually
cool.
Sick. So, like, the 2 U.S. players are not in the same pool.
Yeah.
Like, the people from Europe were not in the same pool. The Japanese players are not in the same pool. It was only the 2 Koreans that were in the same pool, and I thought that was super awesome.
That actually is really cool. I didn't realize that, but that is awesome. I agree. Of course, the day before there were the pools, there was the last chance qualifier to decide who that 20th player would be. That was won by Gerlanda.
A surprise, actually.
Well, so, okay, I'm not deep into the Tekken scene. It was a surprise to me, but then it turned out that he was the only Western player to make top 32 at Evo Japan, and he was, in points, would have been qualified last year. At one point, he had enough points to qualify. Didn't continue to travel, but he was at one point one of the players who would have if it had ended at that point. So maybe not actually a big surprise.
I guess a surprise to the common knowledge of Tekken.
I mean, for me, again, it's not something I'm super deep in.
Right.
But I thought that was super cool. It sounded like a lot of people thought that Double would win, and he did not.
Tell me that you don't agree that the Tekken World Tour Last Chance qualifiers may have had one of the greatest matches of, like, history.
I'm definitely with you. Which one was that?
That was obviously Dimebag versus Pecos, which was one of the most
top 8
amazing matches I'd ever seen. You know.
Yeah. Pecos wins first game.
Yeah, you know, pretty dominantly. And it just looked like Dimebag, who had been fighting all year long, who was the 20th seed, so he didn't make it, so he had to qualify last chance qualifiers. He's down 0-1, and he says, and he looked kind of out of it.
He did.
And then he came back with apparently what they call in the Tekken community a god match.
I can see why.
Because when he won it, that's what they were all yelling, and that meant 3-0 triple perfect.
Triple perfect. Ridiculous. Actually crazy strong.
It was...
like, unbelievable.
Yeah, like, that is a way you come back from a lost game, and then you tie it up with triple perfect.
Yeah.
A god match.
And then fantastic last game as well.
It came down to the last hit, last round, slow motion.
Yeah, slow
we
motion.
got the Tekken 7 slow motion in the last game, last round of the set. And Dimebag came away with it, dude.
Look,
it was so good.
I can tell you a little spoiler. When we do our matches of the year at the end of the year, which is what we typically do, definitely, I don't see any way there's like one more tournament left of the year, and it's not going to be all 3 to knock that one out of the top 3. So watch for that. You definitely cannot ignore that one. That was wildly good.
So good.
Anyway, Dimebag did not make it.
Yeah, unfortunately. He got third, I think it was.
He did get third. Yeah, Cuddlecore got fourth. I thought that was pretty cool, too.
Dude,
she's been traveling a lot, especially the second half of the year.
She was doing super awesome. I was rooting for her all day. Like, I was just sitting there, because Speed Kicks got eliminated kind of early. I think he's got ninth place? Yeah, okay. But Cuddlecore was the last American hope in the LCQ. And she was doing really, really well. When she had to play Dimebag, that was like that for me was the heartbreak match. Because I didn't want to see either of them lose.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, but Dimebag defeated Cuddlecore pretty convincingly. And that made me sad. But seriously, she did awesome. She was just on the Best of V show, which you should have been watching before this.
Yeah.
And
good interview.
Yeah, and you could tell she's very passionate, very emotional about the game and everything like that. And it's wonderful. So good job to her.
Yeah.
And then, did you see that too? After she got eliminated too, like you heard the commentators who were piped into the crowd, like one more round of applause for her. And she was standing in the back and talking, and people were like, they're applauding for you.
Aww.
And she came back outside, looked at them and waved, walked back, and just started crying.
Oh, that's very cute.
I was like, oh, I was tearing up.
I didn't know that. That's very cute. Okay, cool. Anyway, so Golanda ends up taking it, and that was pretty sick because, of course, he's a European player, and this was in Europe. So a lot of people were cheering for him, and the crowd went wild when he did get it. So then when the pools happened, I mean, there were good matches all around.
Oh, yeah.
You know, there was just a lot of really, really fun stuff, a lot of really good matches. Anything jump out to you in the pool stage?
Well, I mean, there was obviously the drama that happened with Joey Fury and JDCR, right? Yeah. So what happened there was two people had a tied record for second place.
In games won and lost.
In games won and lost. So they made them play a 1 out of 1, best of 1 elimination match, basically.
I'm sorry, in matches won and lost.
Yeah, in matches won. And so they made them play a 1v1, basically a best of 1 to determine who went on. Yeah. And JDCR beat Joey Fury.
Yeah.
And so JDCR advanced out of the bracket. But then everybody was like, wait. The rules, if you look at the rules, they say if there's a tie, the first tiebreaker is count how many games won and lost. And when they did that, Joey Fury had a one game
he had a 0 win-loss, plus or minus, I guess. And JDCR had a -1.
Right. And so what they had to do was they had to go up to them and go our bad. Joey is moving on, and JDCR isn't going to make it.
So the match that they played didn't end up actually mattering.
Right, and JDCR, of course, thought he had advanced. He's not going to advance, so that's going to be rough on him. But apparently, according to Joey Fury, I saw a tweet from him saying that JDCR was very mature about it, understood what was going on and wasn't irate or anything like that, and so he was very understanding. Disappointed, obviously, I'm sure. It wasn't like JDCR was going to make some big controversy out of or anything like that. So it's cool that it sounded like everybody understood and was like, okay, we accept this.
It was certainly handled the best that they could at that point. After you've already played the match on stream, the tiebreaker match, and then you find out, or whatever, I don't know if they found out or if there was just a miscommunication in the back. I don't know what the story is. But however, it ended up being that they realized that they had made a mistake. At that point, you have to fix the mistake. You can't keep going with whatever it was. Even if it's embarrassing, which I'm sure it was, to go back on it in public, it's worse if you go against the written rules that everybody expects. Maybe those aren't the right rules for the future. Maybe you look at it next year and you think, this would have been cooler if we had had a final match to play. Right? Or maybe more, or maybe fairer even if we had done it that way. Or if you had looked at a different thing, like their head-to-head matchup rather than the overall games. There's other ways to do it. Maybe now you think about that. But for this tournament, with the rules written in the way that they were, you have to keep up with what they were. So I really think that they made the right choice. Hats off to them for doing that. The people who run it are great TOs and great community members. So I wouldn't have expected anything else, but I'm happy to see that is what they did.
Okay. Well, outside of that, like I said, no controversy there. Just everything went according to what they needed to do.
Yeah.
But from the matches that I saw, like I said, were the only first two pools because then I passed out after that.
Dang.
Shout outs to Jimmy J. Tran, dude. Jimmy J. Tran. That guy, I mean, you cannot be in a bigger deficit than he was in his first match that he played. He went down 3-0 in the first game and then was down 0-2 in the next game in rounds, and then won 3 rounds straight and then won the last game. So he pretty much was like waited all the way until the end and was like, that's right, I'm supposed to play some Tekken. And then he came back, and he actually came out of the winner's side of his pool. He finished top in that pool. I think he was undefeated.
No. He lost to Super Akuma.
Oh, he did lose to Super Akuma. Okay. Yeah,
which was, interestingly, Super Akuma's only win.
Oh, yeah. Okay,
so,
okay.
Interesting. That happens sometimes. John Ding also came out of that pool. Group A was Rongchu and Chanel. C was Kudance and Joey Fury, which meant that JDCR did not move on, like we were talking about. Tishimon also and Noroma were all in that pool. That's a crazy pool.
Right.
D, Ni, and Nobi made it out. I was rooting for Gerlanda just because he was he was the LCQ guy. You know, he's from Italy, European player.
And how did he do?
I think that would have been cool. He got third.
Okay, third in the pool.
Kokoma and Book were also in there. I mean, so obviously every pool was.
Somebody said that he actually. Jimmy beat Super Akuma. He lost to somebody else.
Oh, well, that's not how it's written on my results page, but my bad if that's true.
Yeah, that's fine.
Like I said, I was asleep because it was human sleeping time.
I don't know what you're talking about, man. It's like perfectly normal awake time.
Ah, well, all right.
It's really not.
In the Netherlands. Anyway, so those 4 players made it into the top 8.
Before we get to the top 8, there is one matchup that I want to say was utter domination, and I can't believe how badly the person got smoked.
Okay.
And that was, of course, Ryan Hart versus Rip.
Oh, what? No, you mean Rip got smoked by Ryan
Hart?
Yeah. Okay.
Rip got... He
got blown up. Yes.
At the commentary desk.
Rip, look, it was a bad idea by Rip. It was a bad idea by Rip. Rip can beat almost all the commentators in like any game when it comes to how successful he's been in his chosen game, right? There's like one person, 2 max of any commentator, anybody who's been on the mic ever, who he cannot take it to.
Right.
He took it to that dude. What are you doing?
He was trying to, because like Ryan Hart was kind of going at him, saying, "Oh, the year that you won Tekken, it wasn't even a main game at Evo."
Well,
whatever.
I mean, it's a
and then
legit
Rip's like,
criticism.
saying stuff, and he was like, "I was a Pokken champ."
I can't believe he came out with the Pokken thing, which he won 1 tournament in.
And then he was like,
launch one.
and then he was like, you had to run the 2D games or whatever like that. And then Ryan Hart's like, "Look, I've won more tournaments than you've entered."
That might actually be true.
And then everybody got up off the commentary desk and just, like Ryan Hart said that, he dropped the headset instead of the mic and just walked right off. And then Steve joined him. I forgot who the other person was there. It was like
Spag.
It was Spag. That's right. They all just left, and only Rip was at the table left, and he was just like.
That was a good moment. That was really nicely done. Hilarious. I mean, from a viewer perspective, but Rip. What are you doing? Pokken?
No, shout outs to Rip, though. Rip was awesome. He handled it well, too. So
the Pokken thing is like Justin Wong saying that he was the MK9 champion. Because he like before the scene had even developed. He won it. This is like not relevant.
That's right. He also said,
life.
"I forgot more about Tekken than you'll ever know."
Yeah. So when I studied abroad in London in 2006, I really wanted to play Ryan Hart in Third Strike because like that he was he was one of the all-time greats even at that point in like a bunch of different games, including Third. Unfortunately, he was out of the country or something during that. Well, I don't know, whatever it was, he didn't work out. But it's not like he was like only a 3D player guy, and then he was like, all right, now I'm only a 2D player guy. Definitely not. He was doing both of those things simultaneously for like 15 years.
I do like HM's comment that Spaghetti Rip is now Spaghetti Hart. He's got to jump over to the other side. He can't take that loss anymore. He can't take that L. He's got to go with Hart. Yeah, exactly.
Look, the commentary in general was awesome.
Yeah, there's a great crew there.
They really did a super, super fine job. I think all of them did. Look, Ryan Hart has always been great on the mic. He has been, he's worked in TV production and stuff like that. He's got a really good voice, and he commentates really well. Obviously, he knows the game super well.
I mean, that's kind of
something I'd like to see even more. He's been doing it a long time, but I'd like to see it even more.
Right, because I was saying he actually is just like straight up host for I forgot which company. It was like ESL or something like that. Or...
he was doing for ESL. I'm not sure if still.
Okay.
But in any case, he has done that for a long time. So he's great at it, and I'd like to see it more often. But it was funny just from the kind of commentary perspective that blow up had a real impact of like Rip then was basically silent for 2 games.
Was he?
Yeah. If you go back and listen to it, he said almost nothing for the following 2 games. And meanwhile, Ryan was just chatting. He was talking it up. He was the one who was running the show, basically.
Oh,
no. He had, like, established commentary dominance.
Oh, no. He was the alpha male.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, my God.
Exactly.
He was the alpha human of the commentary desk. No.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Oh, man.
It's funny, commentary is like anything else. Like, there's little ebbs and flows to it.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, like, I like the fact that they had all these different pairings. I really like the different pairings, and, I love listening to Eris do commentary for anything, and so, just Eris and Markman, and then Eris with Rip, and then, Spag with, I think he was with Markman, I think, at one point in time, too. And so they just did a good job switching them up. I liked all the different pairings. So.
They did, yeah. I'm sometimes skeptical of 4-person commentary. I think it can be good, but that it really depends on, like, the 4 of people knowing each other really well.
Yeah.
And if they don't know each other really well, then it can be just kind of scatterbrained. And, it doesn't really make a lot of sense. But if they do know each other really well, then I think it's awesome. And this was definitely a weekend where it was like that. Each person had commentated with each other many, many times. They've known each other for 20 years in some cases. So it's, I thought it went really well.
Okay. Well, sorry, I didn't mean to distract in that, but it was a good opportunity to talk about that commentary as well.
I definitely wanted to bring it up at some point anyway. So then, anyway, the top 8 happened. It was cool.
Oh, yeah. Top 8 was really, really
It was definitely cool. All the matches, again, were good.
Yeah.
First on Rangchu took it. Mostly with Panda.
Yep.
A little bit with Geese and Fang, but...
With the Grin and Bear It, basically, right?
Whoa!
So, and
it was Pandemonium.
And even you saw Harada's tweet? He was like, Panda? Really?
Yeah.
But you know what? I'm just going to say one thing right now. My favorite thing about this whole result here, right, is that the Tekken community has been going, that's so awesome that Rangchu won it with a low-tier character like Panda, right? Whereas opposed, and I'm not trying to put the Street Fighter community on blast, but all of a sudden going, Birdie's obviously cheap and top tier. He's clearly top 5. Gen and Rose are clearly top 5 characters. They're so broken. You only won because your character's broken, and I've known this the whole time. Like, shout outs to the Tekken community actually just being happy that someone won with a low tier character, dude.
You are definitely right about that.
Bison is over. Oh my god, see? Bison is so broken,
Also, I've heard some people in the NRS scene say that Joker is, like, obviously a good character. Everybody always thought he was a good character after Sonic Fox won the IPS finals, mostly with Joker.
Right.
So, which is obviously not correct, in case you haven't been paying attention to that game. Joker he was probably never a bad character, but nobody thought he was good.
Right, yeah, of course.
So,
of course.
Yeah, look, just put up with it.
Yeah.
A lot of fun to watch that happened. He had some pretty solid wins over players. Like, it's not like he was squeaking through either. He was looking good.
And there's a lot of things about Panda which is really odd, especially the stance that Panda has. And you could tell that some of the players were unfamiliar with fighting this because the way the Panda stands, he can punch at you from this range, but his legs are harder to hit because they're further back. So the ranges at which you're fighting him versus some other characters when you go for things like when you go for things like hell sweeps and stuff like that, you have to be a little bit closer to Panda in order to get the legs and things like that. So some people were whiffing things that would have hit against other characters based on their punching range. You know what I mean?
Sure.
So there was definitely factors in there. Having said that, that's not an indication that Panda's cheap. That just means you just learn how to fight it and you can fight the character.
It seems unlikely to me that they're not familiar with the character because those guys have been playing for a billion years.
Exactly.
But maybe more that the way that Rangchu was moving around was just at exactly the right spot very consistently. Right. So it's more like shout-outs to him rather than the other dudes sucked. Like I said,
but
played really well.
I also want to say, like, despite that, because obviously Rangchu winning with Panda was the big story. It was just crazy. And even one of my favorite things was the tweet from the guy who ran first on gaming, and he was like, look, we just wanted to support the players. We hired Lohai and Rangchu, and one of them won Evo, and the other one won Tekken World. I was like, that's crazy. But, I mean, despite that, obviously everyone's talking about Rangchu and his accomplishment. But I just want to make sure that we take a step back and really just admire what Kudans has done.
Okay.
Because Kudans, you know, we've told the story last year, and, you know, people have heard the story that he was a player who was one of the best at Tekken. He was at one of the old Evos, like in 2004, 2005 with Tekken. He's an old school player. But since then, he actually hurt his hands playing Tekken so much. He had to learn a completely different way to hold the joystick and everything. And then last year came and won the Tekken World Tour finals by eliminating JDCR and Saint. He beat both of them. And then this year, Knee was the favorite, the prohibited favorite. He beat Knee, even though Knee had one execution error that cost him basically at the end. But he was still able to beat him, and Kudan says that he would be ready for Knee. And he only lost to Rangchu's Panda. And so Kudans, I mean, shout-outs to that guy. Amazing story. Really, really impressive play. And I'm so happy for him, dude. Super happy for him. Look,
even for Knee, who, like you said, came in as the favorite, had done super, super well whenever he had shown up to an event, he got third. It's not like he had a stinker of a day. Like, he's still played extremely well. He's still got third in the world. So, I mean, I think he still has a claim to being, you know, the most consistent player. He played super awesomely.
Is that actually true? Someone actually said that Kudans doesn't know if he's going to keep playing next year. I really hope so. Because also, yeah, some people are bringing it up in the chat. Dude, UIU is genius, right?
Yes.
You know, first they decided to make Oil Kings shorts like official uniform, and then last year, you know, Kudans had that beautiful turtleneck.
Yeah. And
then they gave him an official UIU turtleneck this year.
One of the founders of UIU is a fashion designer in her long time career, where she was very successful. So, like when they joined the FGC, like part of it was that she wanted to make gear, like that she was like, this is sick. I love to make things for these guys, and so she is. And they definitely, for me, have the best looking esports fashion.
Oh yeah.
Like I'm not like the fashion dude. All right, but I can tell you that I think that they look the best.
Well, I mean, the nice thing about it is they also just catered to whatever they normally wore.
They're varied. They have great variety. They have a lot of different stuff. They really look nice. But I thought in general that the gear that people were wearing there was cool. Like, it wasn't just that. I liked the Rock's Dragon stuff. I thought looked pretty cool. Yamasa that Nobi's on gave him like this cool looking jacket. There was more than just that. I thought they looked nice. It was good.
Yeah, it's just like Muckmaster saying, when's Liquid going to give Nemo an actual
shirt?
Exactly. I mean, just like a little Team Liquid logo right here.
Dude, I mean, haven't we been saying that the entire time? When we first found out that he was going to be on that team, I remember having the conversation of, it'd be cool if he had like a dress shirt that would. Well, you know, I really think that would be awesome.
Oh man, and Saint looked awesome at the time. I like his new look.
I like the look too. And yeah, Equinox has cool jerseys too. As far as like they're like on the esportsier jerseyer side of things, compared to those ones that I mentioned. But even among them, I thought that they looked good. Yeah, for sure, for sure. Anyway, it was Rangchu first, Kudans, then Knee, then Chanel, Jimmy J Tran, and John Dane got 5th. And Nobi and Joey Fury got 7th.
Yeah, so unfortunately, Jimmy J Tran did go 0-2 in the top 8, but
5th in the world, not so bad.
5th in the world, yeah, from the U.S., which is tough to do. So, but I mean, the craziest thing about it was, after Nobi got eliminated early on, and Joey Fury got eliminated early on, Jimmy was the only non-Korean left in the tournament.
Yeah, I mean, the top 6 were 5 Koreans plus Jimmy.
That's great. So he's literally the best that's not from Korea. Pretty good.
Not too bad.
Pretty good.
Yeah. It seemed like a great event. Everything from, we talked about the commentary, we talked about the gameplay. Dude, the matches were awesome.
They had the giant widescreen too.
The widescreen looked sick. The actual venue itself, from what I saw, looked great. All that stuff looked super cool.
A lot of people were there. The audience was packed.
It all seemed like it went super, super well.
And it actually, I mean, like, timing-wise, too. Like, it was like, it's supposed to start at 1 a.m., and it literally started, like, 1 a.m. in, like, 20 seconds.
Dude,
you know? It's like,
no surprise, man, with Rick and Seglia running their respective sides of things. Those dudes are going to get in gear, for sure.
It was really, really nicely done. So
the reveals.
Yes, and then, of course, Harada gave us all the reveals right before... Was it right before Grand Finals, or was it after Grand Finals? I can't remember now. No, it was before Top 8. Because I remember I woke up...
You're right. It was
I woke up
8.
to the Marduk reveal, and because the audience was going nuts, and then I got to watch the rest of it as well. So shout-outs to those reveals.
Marduk, they showed first?
Yes.
He looks sick. That beard. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. He just looks like a cool character.
I don't know. I guess I've never really had any interest in Marduk that much, so it was just kind of, okay.
I thought he looked cool. I also saw a video of Tishuman, who I guess is a longtime Marduk player, during the reveal, and that man was misty-eyed.
Oh, okay,
okay. There were tears.
Well, there was definitely a lot more crazy reactions on a few of the other characters. I know JDCR was happy about Armor King.
Yes, then Armor King was announced.
And
also looked really cool.
Look, I don't know anything about... I play King. I don't know the lore between Armor King and King and all that. I don't even know what the difference between them, so I wasn't sure what, is he just like EX King, or is he a completely different character? Turns out he's a pretty different character. Right? He's a pretty different character. And, as I watched the reveal trailer, I was like, okay, interesting. I had a chance to mess with him, but do you want to wait till later to talk about that?
Talk it up.
Dude. As soon as I saw a combo video, so you know how King, when he grabs you out of there with the 4-4-4, 2+4, he grabs you and then he pile drives you like that, right? Dude, when I saw Armor King and he jumps up in there and grabs you and he runs with you, jumps up in the air, and then just dunks you on the floor, dude, I was like, that is the sickest
Pretty sick looking, for sure.
This is the sickest looking
for sure.
Ever. So I decided to see if I wanted to pick up Armor King.
Okay.
That's pretty sick looking. And like, the hardest thing about Armor King is that he's like a Mishima and King mixed together, because he's got the wave dashing and the forward neutral, down forward command, right? So he's got the God Fist command. Right. And so just getting good at that takes a lot of practice. I don't know if I can do it, but I was messing with him and I could do some of the harder combos with that, just not consistently, right? So I could do them, but I can't do them consistently. So it's the question is, do I take up the time to learn this? And then I saw a video of him beating up on Eddie with a screw attack with a tailspin string that he has that pops him off the floor and tailspins him, so he gets big damage. And I was like, I guess I'm gonna main Armor King.
Sick,
I don't know. He might be a secondary. I might try to play him, but there's another character that is definitely gonna be a secondary for me. So
Is it Julia?
Julia.
And they showed Julia, who I guess is a streamer now.
Yeah, but she's always been kind of like an activist kind of thing, you know what I mean? So, but like, look, there's very few times that like I see a character and I'm like, oh my god, she's hot, and that's kind of that reaction. But you know me, I have a fetish for glasses, okay? I'm going to be perfectly honest with everybody. I have a fetish for glasses, and they brought back Glasses Julia, and I got kind of excited about that. So
weird way to phrase it.
But here's the thing is, I actually used Julia in like the 2 days that I messed with the previous game, because I was like, I'm going to pick up, I don't remember if it was Tekken 5 or Tekken 6 or something like that. Yeah. And I was like, I'm going to learn this character. And they basically said, pick Julia. She's like Cammy. And I was like, okay. So I learned Julia for like a little bit. So, and then I remember in Tekken Tag 2, I was going to learn JC a little bit. So, I figured JC plays JC, right? So there you go. So I think that's the way it works. So
I guess that must be the way it works.
Because see, I mean, that's the thing. Cammy doesn't have glasses, but I've never been about Cammy looks-wise. Like, I've never been into Cammy for looks. I've always been. It's like just recently, someone's been like, "Oh, look, here's this cat girl thing. I bet you like this, huh, James?" And I'm like, I don't like Felicia because she's a cat girl. I just like Felicia because she was my first main in Darkstalkers, and she has blue hair. Like, blue hair might be the more common thing. I don't know. I've never thought about that, but I like her. I like Leona. Like characters with blue hair for some reason work. So, but like, I'm not into Felicia because of her looks. I just was, there's very few characters that are like that.
You read the articles.
Yeah, I read the articles, exactly. It's more about the clothing. It's the articles of clothing,
sure.
right?
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
Or with
Sometimes they
Felicia,
have
the lack
interesting shoes on.
thereof. Or Felicia with the lack thereof. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Fetishes of mine, let's see. Glasses, ponytails, and Zetai Roiki.
Ooh.
There you go.
I got 2 of those 3.
Okay.
I'm not sure I want to get the 3rd. I think I'm...
Oh, and blue hair. Blue hair, that's right. Okay. There you go.
Okay, well...
What's your fetish, David?
Here's a funny story from some people are bringing up foot fetish in the chat. One time, my family and I went to China when I was younger, and when we were there, we met a couple of dudes who were like showing us this one, I don't know, one of those things we saw, one of the monuments, and they were like talking with each other. You know how some people, at least in this country, will be like, "Oh, it's springtime. The girls have they're wearing skirts again." If you're like in a cold weather area, they have, these guys were like, it was spring. They're like, "Oh, you know, it's a great time of year. The girls are wearing short skirts again and sandals," and they were both like, "Yeah, sandals." Like, it wasn't weird at all for them. It was just like, that's just one of the things.
It's weird.
Just a different culture, man.
Okay.
So hey, you know, it's one of those cultural things. Not for me, that's for sure.
So you have no fetish then?
Probably. I'm not sure that I have anything that really is a big deal. There are
or
things that I
you
like.
can reveal here on the show.
I mean, even the things that you said, I wouldn't classify as fetishes. Although the third one, I didn't get it. But the first 2, glasses are just like is that a fetish or is that like you like it? I don't know.
When I see girls with glasses, that's why I
like it.
Yeah, Kyoko.
Sure
I always thought I was always attracted to that as well, Kyoko, because she has the glasses as well, right? So
I like eyes a lot. It's my favorite feature of the body,
there you go.
but I'm not sure that counts as like a fetish.
Okay. If people are wondering what Zetai Roiki is,
I'm not.
You're not wondering what that is?
I'm doing great.
You don't want to know what it is? Okay.
No need.
I guess I'm not going to explain it then. Okay. I do love Quistis, another character with glasses, so there you go. There's a common theme here. So.
All right. Then they announced, or they showed the Negan trailer.
Yeah, that's right.
So I've heard mixed reviews about this. I thought that it was awesome. I don't know anything about Walking Dead.
Okay.
I've never watched it. However, I did see a side-by-side clip comparison that was posted on the internet. Yeah. And it looks like awesomely close. Like they did the best that they could, within the strictures of whatever it was. When they first showed the trailer and Negan's like with his little bat, eeny, meeny, miny, mo, catch a tiger by the toe, and during Tiger, I thought that they were going to show like Armor King or Kazumi, with a tiger. But they didn't. It was like Lars or something. And then,
I think they tried to match it with the...
I was going to say, it looks just like the dude who in the actual show was the one that he pointed to during Tiger. So, nicely done. I really like that. They clearly spent a bunch of time positioning characters and having them like emote and stuff. I think that was super, super cool.
Right.
I definitely give them props.
Yeah, I don't think anyone had any problems with that part of the trailer. I think most of what people had a problem with were his motions, his movement, the animation.
He does look funky.
He doesn't look as smooth as a lot of the other characters, right?
I think that's true.
You see Marduk, you see Armor King, some of those, like I said, the air throws and stuff. Like, they just look so good.
For sure.
And it really looks like Negan's not complete just yet.
I was going to say, I think that might be what it is, because some of the other times that they've shown characters... Now, I don't know if I can remember anything specific, but I remember thinking, kind of weird looking, not finished looking, and then the characters came out and they looked great.
Right.
So I think that it might be the case. Like, Armor King and Marduk were done because they're out. So Negan is not out. They still have a little bit of time. I'm not that concerned.
They killed Paul.
They did. They definitely killed Paul.
That was like more explicit than Luigi.
Yeah, I thought they weren't going to do that.
Yeah,
I thought they were just going to cut the trailer. They definitely killed him.
He literally twitches on the ground, in like death spasm, dude. Like, that was like Luigi, got killed by the Grim Reaper, but that was like, okay, maybe they can rescue him.
Yeah.
But like, Paul is dead.
Paul died.
Paul is officially dead in Tekken canon now, dude.
Yeah.
Jesus.
So I thought that was pretty cool, but I agree that the animations don't look great. I expect that that'll be improved, but it does seem weird to me. I mean, it does seem weird the whole time. Ever since they announced Negan, that he's in the game. Again, I haven't watched the show, but from like the clip that I saw, it looks more to me like he should be a Mortal Kombat character than a Tekken character.
Because Tekken doesn't like. Actually, he would fit more, oddly enough, in Soul Calibur.
Well, for sure. Yeah, I mean, of course, he's got the weapon.
Good weapon. Yeah.
For sure, but he did kill somebody, so it's
I guess
at least one person. I haven't watched the show, but for sure, I saw a clip where he definitely murdered a guy.
Hey, look! Every time I see him on the, if I play online, I'm gonna have to run because Asian people don't like this guy. Okay, I'm just gonna say that much. So that's all it is. So.
Dang. All right. Yeah, so it seems like a weird choice to me, but in any case, he's going to be out. I feel confident that he'll look good by the time that he's out. I'm not worried about the
someone said when that character comes out, he was going to beat all the Koreans.
Oh, man. All right.
Okay, anyways.
All right, well, by the way, they also announced that there's going to be a Season 3 for Tekken World Tour, which is awesome.
No shock there.
Maybe no shock, but to know now
is
great. Because even like the Capcom Pro Tour doesn't necessarily say, hey, we'll see you here next year. They don't do that. IPS in Injustice was like, they found out like 5 months ago that there was even going to be a tour.
That's right. Yeah.
So props to them for just like announcing immediately it's going to happen.
But you probably have to admit, though, the IPS guys probably didn't even know themselves if there was going to be a tour.
I think you're probably right.
Probably working on it the whole time.
I imagine you're right. But just for the players and for the scene to have that knowledge already is really nice. So props to them for making that announcement. They also put out a patch with Marduk and Armor King, who are out now.
Not a lot of huge changes. I saw some people said that Eddie feels like he might be getting a couple of improvements. I saw a new combo works for Law that didn't work before. But for the most part, it seemed like one of those, here's some bugs things. It's not going to be any significant change, in my opinion. It's going to be a pretty small little patch here. So most of the things that I saw were like, fix the bug where this happened, blah, blah, blah. But Law definitely got like some new combo off of his sweep launch kick thing, so that's going to be big. He's going to have way more reward off of his sweep. But I mean, a lot of characters get reward off of the reactable sweeps like that. So
okay.
Oh yeah, and by the way, shout outs to I think one of the most important updates to this that I'm sure everyone's going to be like, huh?
Okay.
But shout outs to them for changing the color of the energy bar. Thank you for that. Because now when we watch videos, we know exactly if it's Season 2 or Season 1. Like, that, I've always wanted that. Like, so in Guilty Gear, every time they make a new version, the Burst logo changes.
Oh.
Right? So every time you see the word burst, it's a different font or it's a different way it looks. You always know which game it is. And I like the fact now that while we're watching Tekken, every time we see this new blue colored life bar, we know it's Season 2. Okay. So every time we see the footage, like we were like, oh, let me look up this guy's play. And you look it up and it's a yellow bar this whole time and you didn't know if it was you were watching Season 1 this whole time.
Sure.
You know, but now you'll see the different colored bar and you'll be like, oh, wait, this is not the current season. Let me just check that. So I actually really like that. And I really wish Street Fighter would, because I even said that in Season 2 of Street Fighter. I was like, please change something in the UI so we can tell.
Is it not in the actual match it's the same?
Yeah, everything is the same in the actual
Well, I guess
match.
now you know that there's like V-Trigger 1 or V-Trigger 2.
Oh,
so
yeah, that's
three,
true.
guess,
In 3, yeah, that's true. But I feel like it...
Was the life bar gold originally, or is that only Season 3?
I'm not sure, actually, now.
I
guess the gold did change a little bit. Yeah, I think you're right. People are right. The AE did change the life bar a little bit. Okay, there you go. Okay, there you go. So they did change something in Season 3, so that's good. Man.
But it's a good observation. I think that is cool. Yeah.
I mean, to be honest with you, with Street Fighter, it's not as much of an issue because there's the date in front of every single match, which, again, I love that.
Was it always like that? I thought that was just an AE.
Oh, I think you're right. Yeah, I think you're right. I think they only added that in AE. You're right. So, but
I'm not usually the more observant one.
Yeah, but I love that. I love that too.
It's like weird but cool.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. Is there anything else to discuss about the Tekken World Tour finals? Seemed to go well.
Look, I said on Twitter a while ago, I retweeted something Markman said, and I just said, I don't think that there's any question. Again, spoilers for the year-end awards, but I really feel like Tekken is the game of the year. Maybe we could save this for 5-5 or something like that, but I had people arguing with me on Twitter, no, this game is clearly not, because it doesn't do a good job teaching beginners how to play. And I understand that part. I understand that concept there. But, from my standpoint, I was looking more at it from a eSports perspective. Okay. What the game has managed to accomplish, the amount of people that it's drawing in, the fact that, weirdly enough, you know what? This part of it I'll save for 5-5. So remind me that there's something I want to ask about in 5.
Got it.
I want to ask your opinion about something in the 5-5 matchup. So
all right, fair enough. We'll do it.
Yeah.
Something about Tekken in the thing later on.
Okay, cool. And 5-5 matchup.
In that case, would you like to take a break?
Yes, let us go ahead and take a break. And when we come back, we will talk about David's experience at the Gamers' Choice Awards. Dun, dun, dun. All right, guys.
Why foreboding music? It was great. Yeah.
Tekken is definitely not an easy game to get into. I think it's one of the hardest fighting games to learn. And I'm saying that obviously as a person who's never played 3D games before, but I don't know if Tekken helped me necessarily for Soul Calibur, but when I started playing Soul Calibur, that game made way more sense to me than Tekken did.
Me too.
And the game just flows very well. It feels very natural. Horizontals are mostly duckable. There's exceptions. And then verticals are sidesteppable. There's just a lot about that game that felt like it made sense.
I agree with you.
And I'll tell you this much, that playing one or the other actually messes me up between them.
Okay.
Because I was playing Tekken again just to mess with Armor King, and I kept trying to dash, and I kept hitting 3 to guard. And then I was...
the button.
Yeah, I was expecting to run by just holding forward, but then I was like, I have to double tap and stuff like that, so it was kind of interesting. So,
if the contention is that Tekken is easy to just kind of have a button mash fest with your friends, then for sure. 3D games in general, I think, are better at that. They're really good at that. Mm-hmm. Second, Soul Calibur is the same way. But then to get good is really tough.
Tekken is probably one of the more fun games to get into at the very...
Hey, 2 years? That's wild.
For the very, very casual level. Tekken is easy to get. Because it's also beautiful, and the moves look like actual martial arts and stuff like that.
Yeah, for sure.
Hey, shout-outs to Starix there for almost 2 years. Look at that, 23 months.
Thanks to Steve for keeping us together.
Yeah, so Paratestes and Starix, thanks for the subs. Much appreciated. Paratestes has been here, for a long time now. Mm-hmm. Regular here, always swinging away at
nice work.
The subs that we have here. So,
he's bowled me over.
And Unsung Hero as well for 24 months. Dang, we've got
all right.
Look at these 3 people over here. Nice
work, y'all.
Thank you. And that Riz guy.
Whoa.
Oh, it's the first time. Nice. Or just the start, at least, so.
Yeah, look, are you contending that Panda doesn't fight like how a panda would fight? I think that she does.
See, the funny thing is, someone in the chat says...
Maximilian Dude just subscribed with Twitch Prime.
Hey, shout-outs to Maximilian Dude. So, someone says that one button corresponding for every limb is very intuitive.
Yeah.
I actually think that just depends on the human being. Because for someone like me, who is as left-right dyslexic as possible, it is the absolute worst thing.
Okay,
for sure. It does not help me, and in fact makes things significantly worse. So it's kind of hard.
Okay, yeah, for me it does make a lot of sense, but I get that. That makes sense. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Hey, it's back.
Oh, are we done?
We are.
Okay. All right.
This Sunday at 5 p.m. Eastern Time, the Gamers' Choice Awards will be broadcast on CBS here in the United States of America.
This is CBS.
Correct. But it was not. It's not going to be live. Oh my God! Spoilers. In fact, it was taped yesterday at a venue 10 minutes away from where I live. Yeah. Walking. I walked.
They invited all the nominees there.
They invited every nominee to come. Exactly right. And how many of them came? Not all of them. Let's put it mildly. Not many of them. No, maybe that's not true. A good number were there for sure. Some people even flew to get there.
This is not so Zia's asking, do you know the game reviewers? Oh, that's not the Game Awards.
That's the Game Awards.
Right.
I'm talking about the Gamers' Choice Awards. Mm-hmm. These are different things.
In which we were nominated for Best Caster Duo.
eSports Caster Duo. Right here. Nominees.
Exactly.
It was a trip. I gotta tell you, like, the entire process of it was funny for me. So, first of all, you're supposed to have RSVP'd. In classic David fashion, I misread the email and thought that it said that I was RSVP'd, and so I didn't need to. Mm-hmm. In fact, I needed to RSVP. So I didn't register beforehand, and I basically just walked over there, because like I said,
so you didn't...
I didn't. I mean, it was too late. So I just walked over there because it's within walking distance for me. So I was like, well, worst case, I'll get a little bit of exercise. I walked over there, and I was just like, hey, I'm a nominee. Let me get in. And basically in those words. And they were like, oh, great, here's a VIP badge. Stand in this line. It was the red carpet line, and everybody who was nominated was supposed to come into the red carpet line for a little picture. They give you an interview. There's a little spiel. So they let me get to the front of the line. Basically.
I just want to let everybody know that David reminded me about this and was like, hey, James, come along. And I was like, no.
Yeah, it was pretty emphatic. By the way, I also contacted Sajam. He wasn't into it.
He wasn't going to go.
He wasn't into it either. Tasty C was also nominated, but that dude's in Europe or something.
Right,
so
yeah. Mm-hmm.
Anyway, so there I am on the red carpet line waiting to get in. Chuck Liddell, maybe? The MMA, something like that, dude.
Yeah, that's his name, yeah.
Was right in front of me. Then Tito something.
Jackson?
Sounds right. Was also in front of me right there. No, he was behind me. So then I'm at the front of the line, and they start moving all the actual celebrities. Ortiz, maybe? I don't know what to tell you.
It's Ortiz. It's not Jackson.
I don't know. And then, so anyway, they move him to the front of the line, because obviously he's more important. Mm-hmm. And then they just start dragging people who I've never seen before.
Right.
And they keep pumping him to the front of the line. So I'm waiting there at the front of the line for like 15 minutes, getting bypassed, and I never actually get to the front, to the actual red carpet. So eventually I was like, screw this, and I walked 10 feet around to the other side to where there was another open door that didn't have a red carpet at all, and I just walked in.
Damn,
so I never actually
dang.
I didn't get the red carpet.
Dang. Okay,
it was too much top player privilege.
Fair enough. No, I mean, a lot of the Tetris guys went there, so I know they got nominated for something. So I know, like, Trey Harrison went there. Jonas Neubauer, the guy who got second place, the 7-time champion, was there with his wife and everything like that. So
that's pretty cool.
Would have been cool to go see all of them, but I just didn't.
Ninja got put by me. Some streaming dude, Dr. Lupo, and Tim the Tat Man. You know, people you're very familiar with.
Oh, you mean Tim the Tat Man?
Tim the Tat Man.
Tim the Tat Man. Oh, dang.
Big deal.
Did you get a picture with him?
Oh, you know what? This and that happened, unfortunately. And then, like I said, some people who I'd never seen before.
The Tat
moving
Man
on by.
Taylor.
I
don't think so.
No, definitely a different dude. So anyway, then when I get in there, as far as the seating goes, there were white couches, and each person had their own assigned seat. But because I had not RSVP'd, I didn't have a seat. Everybody there had like their picture and stuff. It was like there was a big D1 face who was nominated there. Mm-hmm, he was on one of the couches. And so I asked one of the people working there where I should sit, because I didn't have a spot. Mm-hmm. And she literally walks me out of the main area into the maximum corner. It's literally upstairs a little bit, past a fence. There's literally a fence in the venue, and I'm behind a table in a very uncomfortable little chair. So I was just stuck back there. Anyway, then it was nice because D1 was there. We hung out. Zed Tabani, Red Rapper, was there. He was hanging out. That was really nice. That was a lot of fun. Then the thing starts, and I saw Kiss play live.
Yeah, you messaged me that Kiss was playing there, and my only response to you was relevant to the current demographic.
Makes a lot of sense. Yeah. By the way, they play a good show. I don't consider myself like a Kiss fan per se, but they had a good show. They really did.
Well, I remember that. I remember, back in 1927 when I watched them do.
Anyway, so after that gets... by the way.
Kiss was yelling at the production before they seated folks. Their microphones were hissing.
Were you there? Who's this Estwild? Yeah, that's exactly what occurred. So the microphone was hissing, and one of the dudes from Kiss, when he walked up there and the microphone hissed, he gives a mean stare to the side, and he was like, "I'll do my job if you do your job."
Are you serious?
Dude,
Yo! Kiss!
Yeah.
Kiss! Dude, no joke. I don't even know if anybody knows what color forms are, but I had like a Kiss color forms thing when I was a little kid. So there you go. I'd never heard any of their music.
Okay.
I just thought they looked cool.
Well, they do look cool. Anyway, yeah, they did dunk on whoever that was. Then the thing started, but like I said, it was not live. It was all recorded, so there were some moments when they needed people to just redo whatever the intro was. And, for example, here's what went down. All right, so they would read the list of the nominees, right? They come out. It's like any award show. There's a little bit of sass and jokes and whatever from the presenters. And then they read all the names. And then in other award shows, they'll like open an envelope and say, here, and the winner is yada yada. But since this is not live, it's recorded, and they don't want schlubs like me blabbing about who won what, which I, probably would have. They had the presenters say, all right, the list of nominees is yada yada yada, and the winner is, you'll find out December 9th.
So they didn't even tell you who won.
I don't know who won anything.
They didn't even tell you who won.
Look, if I'm honest, I went there basically for the tiny chance that we would win. I fully expect we'll get dunked in last place and whatever. But, you never know. So I crafted a speech that I was going to say.
You crafted a speech?
I did.
You had a... Dude, you don't understand. Like, it was funny because when David was like, you want to come, James? My response was no. And then I was like, although when we win, and you are the only one that's going to give the speech, I'm going to be so embarrassed, but que sera, sera. There's nothing I can do.
So I hadn't thought about a speech until you sent me that text, and then I was like, what would I say?
Oh, dang.
Okay, all right.
Okay.
So my speech was basically going to be...
Dude, do you have your speech on you?
I mean, I don't have it, no.
Oh.
But basically the gist of it was, I never actually wrote it down, I just had it in my mind.
Okay.
So I would say, thanks to everybody for this award. I consider it my duty in situations like this to bring political situations to the masses. And so I'd like to bring the plight of my people to all of you from the time when they were in slavery in their homeland to when their homeland was destroyed and they were sent on an international diaspora all across the world. They have had very bad situations across the face of the earth. They've managed to... it's already playing, I know. They've managed to do okay. They've created international banking cartels for themselves. They're some of the richest people in the world, but they still remain discriminated against, and even today they remain in an unfree state. Hashtag free all goblins. And then I was going to walk off the stage. I thought that would have been so great.
Oh, man. Dude, you would totally have been the second person to join Hermione in Spew in freaking Harry Potter, dude. Oh, my God.
Yeah, it's a World of Warcraft joke that I thought would go well in the context of that audience. But in reality, it didn't matter to me if it would have gone well. Because what mattered to me was that I would have found it hilarious. Yeah, look, obviously goblins in Warcraft are Jews. There's no bones about it. They're you know, it's very clear that that's what the inspiration is. I don't know if I ever told this story, but when I was in high school, my brother and I worked at a kids' day camp, and we and his friend put on a skit. Like, there was a time when all the everybody could do a skit. So our skit was that we went up there and told the absolute worst jokes that we could come up with. We scoured the internet for hours trying to find the absolute worst jokes that we could come up with. And we were up there. We had a huge list of jokes, 20 minutes of jokes of the worst possible stuff. One of them was like, what's black and white and hangs in trees? And the answer was a refrigerator. I'm not sure why, but that's what we went with. So anyway, about 6 or 7 minutes into this, the person who ran the camp came up and kicked us off the stage. And we all thought that was the punchline.
That was like the crowning moment.
That was the punchline, was that we got kicked off the stage. Yeah. Oh man, I haven't thought about that in a while. But yeah, that's...
You're literally wiping the tears from your eyes right now. Oh my god.
Anyway, so the rest of the Gamers' Choice Awards was whatever. It was basically, them saying who the nominees were and then not giving out the answer.
But they said they also made you... You said that they also made you, the audience, do the electric slide.
Right, okay, yeah. So there were... It's like any TV production. They want the audience to be loud and having fun, right? Or at least seeming like you're having fun. So they did have us dance, or they wanted us to dance in between takes so that we would be having fun, I guess. And definitely some people were having a blast. I wasn't doing it, but a lot of other people were having a lot of fun. That seemed like a cool thing for them. But yeah, I was just standing there for that. There were some awkward things like that. But, I saw Snoop Dogg there. I'm not sure if these are spoilers or not. Yeah, but I saw... Oh, the Old Spice guy. You know what I'm talking about.
Oh, Terry Crews.
Yeah. People whose faces looked familiar to me, but
I really would have loved it if Snoop Dogg saw you and said, "Oh, what's up? You're Ultra Dizzle." That would have been the best.
That'd be super weird.
That would have been awesome.
By the way, he walks so cool.
Really?
Yeah.
I think Spyro probably taught him that. Right?
He walks super cool.
Okay.
You just as he's walking, you're like, yeah, that dude, pretty cool. I'm totally serious. Yeah. Other than that, it was fun. Like I said, I hung out with D1 and Zed, and it was fun.
That's right. He was in Tekken. That's right.
True.
He was in Tekken.
Yeah. It was just kind of a funky experience, and while I was there, I was just thinking how kind of bizarre and strange it is to be there. A lot of people there knew who I was, which I was very surprised about.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Weird, to be at a Hollywood Awards ceremony and... Well, at least other people did the red carpet. I could have, I guess. And for them to know who I was, and for it to be as high a level production as it was, because it was. I mean, I'm sure it's going to look great on the actual show, because they really put in a lot of good work. They had a lot of really nice things going on.
Okay.
But man, it's definitely weird. It's definitely weird.
Yeah, I don't know how I would have reacted to that. To be honest with you, I probably would have gotten very uncomfortable after a while and just been like,
understandable.
Because anytime I'm around that kind of environment, I basically call it introvert's fatigue, where I'm just in that environment, and then after a while, I'm just I just want to get the hell out of here,
I totally get it. I totally get it. Yeah, that happened to me sometimes too. Although I think it's probably worst case for you. But I certainly
That's right.
get
Did
it.
they have clips for all the nominees?
I don't know about all, but certainly some for sure.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm not to say that they don't for all of them. I just don't know. They didn't play all of them. So. Yeah, it was a weird experience. There's a feeling about Max Esports, that is weird.
That's true. Like
uncomfortable.
when they announce the winner on the actual broadcast, what's going to happen? They can't show anybody going up to accept the award because they didn't film any of that.
I really don't know.
That's so weird. Are they going to render it all in CG? Are they going to get those China news shows to render
that'd be so
it?
cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, and the winner is Ultra David. Ultra David 和 James Chen 他们上来他们要给你们说一点话
That would be so sick. I don't know what they're going to do. Yeah, I don't know.
Man, that would have been so amazing. That's going to be so weird. That's going to be so weird. They have something up their sleeve.
They probably do. Yeah.
They have something up their sleeve, so.
I mean, maybe they did like film a thing with the winners when plebes like me were out of there.
Right.
I don't know. Yeah, they probably told people in person and had other things. I don't know how it went. Yeah, it was just a little weird, but you know, I mean, I don't want to be like too negative about it because I feel like I'm not sure that having like Kiss perform is like something I need to happen, but you know, and as I've said many times in the past, I think that award shows in general are pretty dumb, but some degree of increased production level and kind of hokiness is probably not avoidable.
Yeah.
Certainly, at least the increased production, I'm not opposed to. It felt like the juxtaposition between the Tekken World Tour, which was super sick and very authentic. It was definitely FGC,
right?
Even though it was really cool looking, it was for sure a fighting game event. And then going to this thing, which was absolutely for sure not, was a big difference.
Right.
Big difference.
Yeah, there's just this like celebrity culture kind of thing, you know, and it's just you get the celebrity culture, and then you know you feel like you want to go there, and you're like, oh, hey, I saw Snoop Dogg, hey, I saw Chuck Liddell, I saw Tito Jackson. Right, like those kind of things like make you excited, right? So
I mean, theoretically, like I don't feel that way particularly, but other people did. Wait, is it not? Oh, are you making fun of me? Is there? I don't get it. If so,
Tito Jackson's one of the Jackson 5.
Oh, okay, all right. My bad.
Oh God.
No, and you know it's nice that CBS is doing a gamer esports themed thing. As I've also said in the past, I don't need for there to be TV in esports on TV. That's not super important to me in terms of the future. But it's nice that they are doing it, and there's more money into the scene. That's cool. It's just and the difference between the two things was so big that it was hard. It's hard for me not to think about that while I was in my chair and people next to me were doing the electric slide or whatever. So.
And you didn't do the electric slide with them. You've seen Sakura do it so many times in Alpha 2 that you did not immediately just like went straight into the electric slide.
I used to be great at the electric slide back when I was on the bar mitzvah circuit at age 13. And so here's the thing.
I don't think you're joking about this at all.
No, this is a true story.
Okay.
When people who are 13, if you're Jewish or you have lots of Jewish friends, like all of your friends are getting bar mitzvah, so you're going to their big parties like almost every weekend. And that was the case for me when I was 13. So I went to a lot of them, and they all had like the electric slide. They had like YMCA, like the big dances people danced in like 1996. All right, there was like what was that stupid dance? The Macarena, or maybe that was my brother's time already. But in any case, I knew how to dance all of those dances really well.
And you know what?
I was great.
You know what actually?
Here's how great I was. When one of my brothers got bar mitzvah, my middle one, who's 2 years younger than me, one of our friends was invited. One of my friends from high school was invited, and he saw me dancing, and he was like, "David, you're so good at that he invited me to his house party in high school." And that was the only one I ever went to because I was not a cool kid. But that was it.
Dude, you're
I was like, this is great.
Dude, you're Napoleon Dynamite, dude.
For sure.
You're Napoleon Dynamite, dude. Oh my god.
That was the last time I was good at dance.
What's actually crazy to me, though, now is that every kid knows how to do a bunch of dances because of Fortnite.
Yeah, that's true.
That is the craziest part, seriously. So, yeah.
Anyway, what are we talking about? Esports. Weird, but some of it's okay, but I'd rather it be authentic like the FGC does it.
Yeah, yeah. One of these days we should have like an FGC awards thing. I think that would be kind of cool.
Do you mean the Canon Awards?
Not necessarily like Canon Awards, like at Evo, because that's like a special thing, right? Which, I mean, I don't even think it exists
They don't
anymore,
do it anymore,
right?
yeah.
But like just having an FGC award, like, you know.
I mean like the Ultra Chen TV yearly awards?
Yeah, kind of like that. But, you know, more like, oh, for this game, here's the award for most, you know, like strongest player, or even just like most influential player or most significant player, you know, stuff like that. So
That'd be cool.
yeah, it'd be interesting. I mean, I know the game 2K on Twitter has been talking about Hall of Fame, FGC Hall of Fame forever.
That's true.
So,
that has been going on a long time.
Most improved player, yeah, exactly. Like
Anyway,
that.
check out the Gamers' Choice Awards, which will be Sunday, December 9th at 5 p.m. Eastern Time on CBS.
Yeah, who's gonna win? You'll find out.
This is I'm a big smile.
You said they actually had to re-record someone saying that.
That's true. Yeah.
That's crazy.
And I don't know why, because they're surely not going to show that on the actual broadcast. But they did, in fact, make somebody re-say the line, tune in December 9th to find out. I don't know.
So weird. Okay.
Not the same thing as the Game Awards, which are coming up a little sooner than that, and may have some stuff in them that we will discuss briefly. Hey, is that it? Do you want to switch to Smash Ultimate?
I've switched.
You already
to
have.
Smash
How long
Ultimate,
ago did you do that?
Just now.
Okay.
Just now. Like literally just now.
Prattling on for 15 minutes.
I mean, the Game Awards is going to be interesting. We'll probably talk about that a little bit because there's the crazy thing about Game Awards is there's reveals.
Yeah.
Right. So, but in any case, we'll talk about that one once
Shortly.
we get to that.
So, but yeah, first, Smash Ultimate comes out on Friday, very soon now. In fact, copies of it have been out. Some physical. Some people have figured out a way to like get ROM hacks or something, and they've been playing it on Switch. And
Okay.
So there are already things coming out about it, and I've been seeing a lot of footage of it on Twitch, on Twitter, excuse me, and everything that I see looks super sick. Like everything that I've seen, it's all been here's how quickly this character can kill somebody, and here's the situation where they have a kill, and it's like pretty doable. Like it seems like a lot of characters have the ability to kill quickly.
I saw Incinerator can just kill you by like throwing you at the edge, and then he just like jumps up and does this dive thing, and he like spikes you into the pit, and then he jumps back up. So it's like literally the guy like was at the lowest percentage, and he just like throws him at the edge, and the guy flies up, and he does this move where he goes pow pow, and then he dies, and then he just jumps back up to the edge. It's like that's how they're making him a grappler, maybe, is that if he throws you at the edge, he just kills you or something like that? I don't know.
I would be so happy. That would be so great.
Yeah.
Because that's basically Bowser's side in the original Smash 4 when it first launched, and you could just do that until they patched it out like a bunch of wussies.
I mean, look, if the kills are super fast, we could go back to 4 stock.
Yeah.
Right? And then it'll just be exciting because then people are just going to be blowing up all over the place.
Yeah.
Although, I mean, I have heard from somebody else that Ken apparently is like super good.
I've heard that too, but I've also heard that a lot of characters have a lot of good tools.
Okay.
And again, a lot of the... What?
The Shulk Discord.
Oh yeah, we'll talk about that shortly.
Okay.
The movement looks great. Characters move quickly, and not even just like certain characters who you expect to move quickly, but it seems like all the characters I've watched have speed. I saw a Ganon thing. Ganon was like scooting around the screen.
Oh, cool.
It looks very fast, especially in comparison to Smash 4. There's a lot of different movement abilities. Seems very cool. Jasmine's doing something she shouldn't be doing here. There she goes. So I'm really excited for the game. And like I said, it seems that so many characters have the ability to kill quickly that it's going to be an exciting and dangerous game. In Smash 4, if you watch, like I feel like a big part of why Bayonetta was considered so dumb was that she could kill quickly in a way that like very
nobody
few
else
characters
can.
could.
Yeah,
it was
yeah,
basically
yeah.
her. And in a game where you had 2 stocks, that was super powerful. But in the context of if everybody, or maybe lots of characters, have that, and you have more stocks, then that's just not as powerful.
Right.
But
Yeah.
at the same time, is still sick.
Dude, I
is
saw.
Still cool.
I guess young Link, when he pulls out a bomb and then he shoots arrows, he shoots bomb arrows instead.
Damn. Wow.
And so I saw a clip where someone literally just like pulled out a bomb and then just did like jump into it, bomb arrow, bam arrow, bow, and then the guy died. Like it was like the craziest thing. I was like, what the hell? So,
it's so cool. It's so cool.
I don't know.
I'm really excited for it. So I did talk with a couple of people about the game, people who have had it for the last little while, and they were very positive about the game. Now, these are not folks who are like melee only. Like they have been also playing other Smash games. So, you know, it's not like this is just a melee conversion kind of situation, but they were really happy with the state of things. They said that, you know, it does seem like there's already pretty clearly some tiers at least. Like some characters seem clearly more powerful, some characters seem bad, but that there's a lot of characters who seem decent and up at least, and that the characters who are decent and up have lots of really interesting tools.
But having said all that, there is also word that Sakurai said that there's going to be a patch on day one, right?
Right, exactly.
That would actually be kind of a sick way to blow up people who get in early, like access to games. Like just make it so that the characters don't play like how they're supposed to be play, and then all of a sudden you change everything in a day one patch, and you'd be like, psych.
Yeah.
Like I feel like that's almost kind of a tricky way to prevent some of that kind of stuff, you know?
Yeah. Anyway, that is going to happen. So if you are downloading the game, if you're just getting a digital version, then you'll just download it, the correct version, I guess. But if you have a physical version already, then you will need to get that patch. I have been calling the old local mom and pop, and they just haven't had it yet.
Yeah, I think that one's going to be a little harder.
I think that is going to be a little harder.
I mean, I'm just not getting it until whenever it comes out, so...
You know, I mean, if I can get a game that I want early at the mom and pop, then I'll do that. But if I cannot, then I think I'd just rather get the digital version so I don't have to carry it around.
Yeah. That makes sense.
So I think that's where I'm headed right now.
That reminds me, there was something I wanted to grab. I actually saw that the SNK collection was on sale on Amazon, but in actual cartridge
physical
form for the Switch.
Yeah.
I kind of wanted to grab that actually, so I should probably order that later. So
okay,
but yeah.
Well, I can't tell you if it's worth buying a Switch for, but it does look. I feel like it looks really cool. I was excited for Smash 4, but I definitely feel more excited about this game than I was for Smash 4. And I always thought that watching Smash 4 was cool. Like I liked the footsies of Smash 4, but. Boy, you just could not kill him.
Right, I was just about to say the slow rate of kill was the
slow.
hardest thing. And to be honest with you, I didn't like the meta of only 2 stocks. Like there was something about it that didn't feel as compelling as the 4-stock melee setup. So if they can switch it, if the kills are fast enough that it's like it's a problem if everybody is one-touch kill. But if it's good enough that it's not like that, and I can't imagine Sakurai would let the game out like that at all, right? So I'm excited for the game. I'm always super hyped for Smash games, and when it comes out, I'll probably be spending that whole weekend trying to play as much of it as I can. So
yeah, I think so too. And the people who I talked with, I remember also talking with them before Smash 4 came out, and they were, I guess, better way to put it is hopeful rather than excited. Hopeful that the game would end up good, but maybe not like believing that it would. And they ended up liking it, and they've been playing it, but it seems more like it's excited now rather than hopeful. Because I don't know. And I think I feel the same way.
Someone asked if we would do a first attack stream, kind of like we did for Smash 4 when we had Zero and D1 over. Remember that?
Sure,
so
we can ask them.
Try to do something.
Yeah.
No.
D1 lives locally, although I think that Zero has moved.
I'm not sure. Actually. So.
Anyway, looks cool to me. That'll be on Friday.
Yeah. Was there anything else that you wanted to say about it?
No, I think that's all. Oh, the unlock methods are out apparently.
Oh, really?
Yeah, okay. And it seems like, it's basically you have to beat this character with that character, or beat classic mode with a certain character, or whatever it is, in order to unlock some other character. So it's going to be a little while. Like it's not going to be a.
Or use the amiibos, right?
Seems like kind of a bummer, but.
Okay.
That is what I have read.
That's kind of annoying. So, Yeah, exactly. We'll cover each character for 5 minutes because there's 74 characters. Each character takes 30 minutes. Yep, that's exactly what's going to happen.
Dang, FS Link says, first of all, that you cannot use an amiibo to unlock. Second of all, that it's about an hour and 30 minutes for the fastest unlocks with an exploit.
Dang.
Dang.
Maybe that's what the day one patch will be. He'll add in another method, maybe.
I hope so,
Jesus.
but that doesn't seem likely to me.
That sucks, dude. Can you at least copy saved files? That's the question. Because if you can just copy the save, so if you do it once and then you can just copy the save, it would be the Dreamcast Marvel 2 fiasco all over again, where you're setting up consoles. Someone's like, "God, do you have the VMU? Do you have the VMU?" And nobody has it, and then it just like sucks. So yeah. Oh, day one patch will probably remove the exploit. It's probably true.
That makes sense. Yeah, if anything, and no save copying. So.
Oh man.
All right, big bummer, but hey, the actual gameplay I think looks really sick, and I'm really excited for it.
Yeah, I can't wait to play that game. I can't wait to go with my mains and like figure out what Ness and Zelda can do, and I'll try to learn some Simon.
I'm going to be playing
Pac-Man.
that Footsie's character, Lil Mac. I'm so excited for that. And yeah, dude, if Incineroar actually has
throw in to kill,
if it's what you say, I love it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm in there.
Nice.
All right, you want to take a little break?
Yeah, sure, no problem. Let's take a quick break. When we come back, we'll talk about some 5-5 matchup stuff, and then just talk about some little bit of game news. So be right back, guys. Be right back. Water bottle, actually.
Another one of the jokes was, so after the what's black and white and hangs in trees, it's a refrigerator. Then the follow-up... The follow-up was...
That joke shouldn't make me laugh, dude. It just shouldn't.
The follow-up was, what's black and white and red all over and hangs in trees? It's a refrigerator with a racing stripe.
Oh, dear Lord.
James walked away, by the way. He's gone. He's actually gone.
I forgot to feed the cats before the show, so she's probably starving right now. I always remember that other joke. Remember that other joke is like, have you ever seen an elephant hide in trees? You've heard that one before, right?
No.
Okay, well, have you ever seen an elephant hide in trees?
No.
Hide pretty well, don't they?
Genius.
Ooh. Oh man. Someone on Facebook actually asked, and I don't want to give away what her storyline is, but she was like, I'm going to write this story, blah blah blah. I need movie taglines. It's like for a comedy, and I all these people were making like these really bad ones and obvious ones, and I came in and just like threw 7 in there. And then her response to that was like, "Oh my god!"
Nice.
Because they were some brilliance right there.
Right,
some brilliance there. So yeah, apologies about the microphone hum. I think that's actually our soundboard thing. Because literally, if I unplug the microphone, the hum is still there. So it's not the microphone. I've switched the microphones around. It's just this particular. See, now you can only hear me through David's microphone, but the hum is gone. And if I turn this on, you can hear me, but there's the hum. And even if I disconnect my microphone, you can't hear me except through David's mic, but the hum is still there. So I don't know what it is. Yeah, that was nasty right there. So yeah.
Oh yeah, and when we were telling those jokes, so first of all, this camp ranged in age from like 4 to 13. It's pretty big age range. And each time we told a joke, my brother had a little sock puppet that he then made go like, ha 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 ha, right? Like it's so stupid. And the 4-year-olds thought that was genius. The 4-year-olds literally, like, they really cracked up. We had the 4-year-olds going. 4-year-olds were in it.
So in other words, your humor is designed for 4-year-olds.
Well, either 4-year-olds or nobody. I think are the two options.
4-year-olds and trolls.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that sounds right.
I think that's about how it goes. So you didn't get a picture with a single famous person there, including Jim the Tat Man.
Timothy, the tattoo man.
The tattoo man. You did not get a picture with him.
I did get a pic of wrestler dude.
Chuck Liddell?
Or maybe MMA guy. I'm not real sure.
Okay.
Yeah, that guy.
Oh, Chuck Liddell, okay. And I mean, Terry Crews would have been awesome, to be honest with you.
Yeah, Terry Crews seemed like a funny dude.
Terry Crews, I mean, you've heard all the stories about Terry Crews, right?
I have now. Yeah, once you mentioned the name, I did recall. I got pictures of here's these guys. These the guys you're talking about? Right? Sure. This guy?
Sure. Yeah, no, I think that's him. That's him.
Okay.
That's
and
him.
then this is the other dude, right? This is Tito something?
It's Tito Jackson, right, yeah.
Anyway. Okay. I basically took a picture of him to send to my wife to be like, look at what this guy's wearing. Because these are his shoes.
Hey,
they're all spiky.
Dude, did you hear the story about the shoes
the guy in front
that Payless Shoe Source set up something in Hollywood and they called it Palessi or something? It was like Palessi, and then they sold a bunch of shoes for hundreds of dollars. Dang. Even though it was just
but they were
just the Payless shoes.
That's funny. Nice work. Nice work.
Something like that. Tito Puente. Every time I hear about Tito Puente, I just think about his guest stint on The Simpsons, where he sang the revenge song against Mr. Burns. Wounds won't last long, but an insulting song Burns will always carry with him. So I'll settle the score on the salsa floor with this vengeful Latin rhythm. Burns, da 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 da, con el corazón del perro. Oh man,
I don't recall that.
It's on the Simpsons CD.
Oh, okay.
Which was actually always funny because I have a Simpsons book that's signed by Matt Groening. We actually went to Barnes and Nobles and stuff like that. And clearly there was a mom that was there who was just getting the book signed for the kids, right? And she just didn't know anything about the Simpsons. For sure. But the TVs were all playing Simpsons clips. And they were playing the Planet of the Apes episode. Okay. Right? And they had that one line that, I hate every chimp I see from chimpanzee to chimpanzee. And she just started laughing. Seriously, it was you could just kind of tell she was probably shocked that the humor was so geared towards adults, because kids don't know about Planet of the Apes. All
right, you want to go back live here?
Sure. Okay. All right,
Genius.
Let's do that.
5-5 matchup.
5-5 matchup.
That's what we got next.
And yes, early Simpsons is the best, dude.
Simpsons are good.
Oh, God, man, early Simpsons is so good. Actually, the first season or two of The Simpsons was not good.
Yeah, well,
first season was not great, and then it was second season and on. All of a sudden, it's just the greatest thing ever. So yeah. Okay.
So there has been speculation that there might be a Mortal Kombat 11.
Look, last time I already did my shock face. I don't need to do it again.
You don't need to do it again. However, this time there's a little bit more concrete detail about what this leak is. There's a supposed QA tester on the very, very well thought of website called 4chan, which claims that it will be announced on the Game Awards December 6th.
I mean, that's not
just a couple of days away. It's not a big shock. In fact, even before I heard about this, I had already heard that rumor before. And it might just be people thinking that would make sense, but not have any concrete sort of evidence. But again, somebody on the, very well thought of website, 4chan.
But there was also wasn't there just an event or some random thing where a whole bunch of MK players were playing something? Or
dudes are just hanging out, basically. Do you mean in the NRS scene?
Yeah.
I feel like that's very organic. It's not about...
You don't think it was a publicity stunt
or anything? No, I really don't think so.
Okay,
I really don't. Knowing the people involved, I really doubt it.
Okay.
That'd be cool, though. So then there's some other rumors about this. One, it'll have a 4-year dev cycle rather than 2.
Ooh, okay.
And what that rumor, I hope, means, this is like the thing that I may wish for most, is just to get a schedule when the game comes out. This will be the game for 4 years.
Okay.
We will be playing it for a long time. Don't expect something. I just want that out there so the scene can't be like, oh, what about Injustice 3?
Right, but I mean, like, just because if it has a 4-year dev cycle doesn't mean Injustice is not going to show up 2 years.
Well, I suppose that's true.
I think the problem was that it's the same literal team that makes both of them. So when they're done with MK11, like, they just support it for a year, here's this cool stuff, and then they switch over to Injustice, and then they transition over. But now maybe they're grabbing more staff so they can do both at the same time, right? Obviously, Capcom's done it in the past. Bandai Namco is clearly doing that now,
That's
you
true.
know, kind of stuff like
That's a good
that.
point.
So, you know, maybe they could do both of them at the same time. It just means that they're going to keep doing content for 4 years as opposed to after 2 years be like,
okay, that actually seems plausible, I suppose. Or maybe difficult to... so, okay, before we get to whether you think any of this is credible, let me finish the complete leak
okay, sure,
list.
no problem. I'll listen.
It'll have an adventure mode like Shaolin Monks, as well as a regular story mode.
Okay.
It'll have both. And the adventure mode that's like Shaolin Monks will even have 2-player co-op and online play.
Dude, Shaolin Monks was so good. I love that game.
It'll use the Unreal Engine 4, which is actually the first time, although Street Fighter and Tekken have been on that. It's only ever, NRS games have only ever been on Unreal Engine 3, or previous stuff, obviously.
Okay,
but that's what they've been
okay.
on in the last few iterations.
Where are these rumors coming from, by the way?
Supposed improved animations. That's specifically mentioned in this leak.
Okay.
Supposed improved animations. Also, Fujin is playable, your favorite character. And... Fujin.
Which one was Fujin?
Whatever. I think he was in MK4 originally. He's like a wind dude.
Oh,
He's
okay,
like a wind guy.
okay. I only know Raijin and Fujin from Final Fantasy VIII. That's the Fujin I'm thinking of right now. So, okay.
But you know who's not playable?
Who?
According to this list.
Sub-Zero. That would be the biggest mistake.
Goro, Baraka, Ferritor, and Johnny, Sonya, Kano, and Melina.
Really?
Do you believe in these rumors from the well-thought-of website known as 4chan?
I mean, the thing is, if that was true about those characters, then the only reason is just so they could DLC them or something like that, right?
The rumor is these will definitely not be in the game at all.
Oh, so the characters just are not...
They will not be in there.
I don't know about that, to be honest with you. I mean, NRS would, I guess, maybe be one of the companies that try to do something crazy like that, but I just feel like...
Johnny, Sonya, Melina, Kano.
Hey, look, somebody else out there said, you know what? Everybody has their favorite characters from the previous games, so I'm going to make sure all of them are in there, including a few extra characters. So my game is going to come out with 74 characters, and everyone still got mad at him.
That's true.
So, you know, maybe it's not worth it to bring back old favorites. I don't know, man.
Baraka's whatever, right? Ferritor is a new character. I think they're pretty cool, but, you know, if they don't come back, it's, like, not the end of the world. Goro, an old character, but never, like, a fan favorite, really. No Sonya?
I know.
No Melina?
I mean, well...
No Johnny Cage?
Johnny Cage is a weird one, right?
Didn't they kill Johnny in, like, the first 2 minutes in MK2?
The movie did, yeah, because the actor wasn't there anymore. So
is that really why?
I think they didn't get the actor back, so they
that's
just like
hilarious.
took him out. They just like he goes through the whole first movie, and the second movie starts, and he just gets like stepped on, and
I didn't know that was why.
Like
that's
that.
genius.
Yeah.
All right, so what stock do you put in that character list?
I mean, the whole thing, it's
From
the same
4chan.
stock that we put into every rumor. At this point in time, I just don't even care a lot of the times about those kind of rumors, right? So it's just like, I just don't even want to think about it. I don't want to waste any energy on it because it just doesn't really matter. It makes no difference, right? Because if it comes out and turns out to be true, it's like, okay. If it turns out to be false, it's like, okay. Like, it literally changes nothing like, having that kind of thing. I don't know, because it's always a rumor. Like, if it's an official announcement, like Tekken 7 is like, here's the rest of the Season 2 characters, boom. Like, that's official, you can get hype over that, but you can't get hype over rumors. Because you know that there's a chance that they're not true. So no matter whether they're true or not, I don't know, it's just hard to give them any credence. It's hard for me to care, in a way, so... someone in the chat just mentioned in the posters, and someone else mentioned to me that they noticed that the posters kind of match our topics up at the top too, and I didn't even really do that on purpose. But
maybe we should make that a little bit more explicit.
Yeah, I know. I should figure out how to do it. But the thing that I am most impressed though is if that's the case, then I have done a really good job centering this poster because it almost matches that perfectly.
Nice work to you.
Yeah.
Do you think that Sub-Zero will be back?
Dude, if Sub-Zero and Scorpion are not in the game...
But will it be Baihan or Kuai Leon?
I mean, what they could do is they could make a game without...
You never know.
They could make a game without Scorpion and Sub-Zero, and then at the last second, they're like, that was a mistake, and they put back Scorpion and Sub-Zero to join along Yin and Yang and Necro and Alex and Makoto and those guys. Yeah, exactly. So. Yeah.
And she's just too good. I mean, he's there too good.
Yeah.
Or terrible. Because that's how it was in third.
Yeah. Well, Ken was really good. Oh, wait, what are you talking about?
Ken was already in the previous Street Fighter 3 games.
Wait, so...
But in Third Strike, they put in Chun-Li, Q, and 12. And Chun-Li was too good.
Right.
And the others were piles of poop.
And Remy was a pile of poop as well.
Wasn't Remy in the first...
No, he was new to third.
Was he new to third?
He was new to third. It was Remy 12.
He wasn't in second and third?
No. So, okay.
Anyway, I don't really believe it.
Yeah, I don't...
That's basically my take on this. I strongly believe there's going to be Mortal Kombat 11 because... that company hasn't gone bankrupt, and they've only made 2 games.
And Ed Boon keeps tweeting out, Mortal Kombat things.
Yeah. So for sure there will be one, but these specific things, I wouldn't be surprised. It doesn't seem like a big stretch to me, but I'm not buying it yet.
Do you think it'll be announced at the Game Awards?
I don't. That's
really?
I don't have any good reason for that, but I have a 50-50 here, and I'm going to say nope.
Okay.
What about you?
I'll go with yes. I think it's because if they're making the game, which they clearly are,
obviously,
and they didn't announce it at the IPS finals, and they didn't announce it at Evo, there's nothing left to save it for unless it's just still so far from being made.
Yeah. Well, the rumor in this as well is that it started being produced during MKX.
Oh yeah, I'm sure it was. That's just how all games work, right? People don't realize how long these dev cycles really are. And that's the thing, and because they have the 2-year cycle, I just feel like that it's got to come somewhere. And remember earlier in the year when it wasn't announced at IPS, I was like, where could they announce it? Someone was like TGA. So I feel like it'll happen at TGA. I feel like we'll get a Mortal Kombat 11 announcement.
Okay.
I think.
Well, I mean, I'm rooting for it. I'd love to see it. Mm-hmm. Watching MKX over the last couple of weeks, as people have been, like we were talking about, playing it more again. I mean, I could do without the gore, obviously, but other than that, boy, it's so fast. The characters are so big. I really think... So, Injustice looks better in terms of, the models and the faces. Everything else, I think MK looks better. I
don't know why Injustice has chosen to do it so that the characters are so zoomed out.
I don't know either.
Because obviously they're not trying to implement old school fighting game stuff because Street Fighter feels fine and their characters aren't that far zoomed out, right?
SF5 is more zoomed out than SF4 was.
Right, but the characters still feel a decent size on the screen. Yeah. It doesn't feel like the stage is squashed. You know what I mean? Yeah. So
I don't know, man.
It's weird.
I don't know. Anyway, that's my news. That's my 5-5 matchup.
Okay, so... Actually, the 5-5 matchup question that I had actually has a lot to do with that. It actually kind of segged in a weird way. If there is a 4-year cycle, and let's say MKX and Injustice are being developed at the same time, so let's say after 2 years they're still doing MKX content, and then Injustice comes out and they keep doing both of them, do you think that there's room for both of them to survive? Do you think that a company can cannibalize itself? Because my question is, do you think that the hype for Tekken 7 and all these people getting hype about it, and Armor King and Marduk and Julia and Negan and all this stuff, is going to hurt Soul Calibur 6?
That's a good question.
Because some people are kind of talking like that they're afraid that that might happen.
I guess that wouldn't surprise me too much. At least in NA, Tekken historically was the bigger competitive game among the two,
Right.
although they both obviously sold really well. So if the like, I don't think that that's a problem in terms of the sales. Like, those games are both going to do fine among casuals and people who are just buying the video game.
Less about casuals.
Yeah, when
but
it comes to the
more
competitive
about
side, yeah, I mean,
competitive
I could see that. The Tekken scene has gotten big. Like, it had 1,500 at Evo. Even at the Last Chance qualifier, it had 320. And in past years, not long ago, a few years ago, that would have been a huge Tekken tournament. Like, that would have been newsworthy. It was so big. Now it's not anymore, which is really great for that game. But there's not really that kind of thing for Soul Calibur. That said, Soul Calibur came out at kind of a weird time, tournament season-wise. So it's not. There hasn't really been like that big major in a way to really know how many people are playing it in competitive circles. NEC is later this month. Maybe we'll see what happens there.
Right.
But I mean, it's been doing fine in the tournaments that it's gone to. It's had good numbers.
I've seen people hint in the chat that they read that SC6 had bad sales, but I don't even know what the actual facts about that.
Yeah, me neither. I haven't read anything either way about it yet.
I mean, when chat talks about it, that's just because they heard it from that one guy who read it
I don't
from
know. Look,
some
if there's a news source,
on stuff
let
like
us know.
that.
I mean, I'd love
exactly.
to know. I just haven't read anything about it yet, and I assumed that it would do well because it has done well previously.
And honestly, Soul Calibur being released at this time and then right before Smash Ultimate doesn't help them at all either, I think. So, because I think Smash Ultimate's going to take a lot of that.
My expectation with Soul Calibur was not that it would be a giant game.
Right.
Competitively speaking. That's not what I thought. So,
I mean, I'm sure
I don't know that this helps Soul Calibur, but I don't know that it hurts that much either.
Okay.
I think I wouldn't expect like a giant change either way.
Because a lot of people in the chat are saying that 2B is going to help it a lot because she's obviously super popular these days, right? Nier is such a is kind of big amongst a lot of players, so her being Soul Calibur helps. But do guest characters really help that much, you think?
I really don't know. I really don't know the stats on that.
Okay.
Yeah, that would be very interesting to know as well, though. So if anybody has info with that, I would love to know that too. That would be cool. No, I don't know, man. I'm not too concerned about Soul Calibur. I just didn't think it would be huge anyway. Is basically the truth of it. I hope it is because I really like that game.
So let me ask you this.
Okay.
So because you're playing a lot of Soul Calibur now,
hey,
which game did you drop?
So I've been playing Injustice.
Oh, okay, that's fair because it's kind of at the tail end, right? So,
I mean, I would love to keep playing that game, but I got to go where the competition is. It's not even just that, like, I want to know games to commentate them. That's not even really the big thing. It's that I want to be playing the games that have competition and commentating the games that have competition because that's what I like the most. So, although Injustice is like one of my favorite games, Injustice 2. Competition is more important to me. So I want to play stuff that's
right, because Injustice 2 just finished the IPS, and pretty much all the Injustice pros are going to stop playing it a lot.
I feel like that has already happened.
Okay.
Like they're basically already not doing that.
Gotcha.
So yeah, it's basically right now it's Street Fighter, Soul Calibur, and BB Tag. Unfortunately, so.
Okay.
But boy, Soul Calibur is really great.
Because I've been trying to play everything, and I'm suffering right now. I don't know what to do. I'm actually physically at a loss right now, because there's just games that I'm not playing that I wish I was playing, and I'm just like, I don't... And then Smash comes out, and so I just don't even know.
I mean, Smash is not a game I'm going to take competitively seriously, I'm not too concerned about that. I'll still play it. Like, I'll still have fun with it. In the way that, like, sometimes I play Hearthstone. I'm not taking it seriously. But I'll have fun. You know what I mean? Like, it's that kind of thing. With Smash, if I get together with my brothers, we'll play Smash.
Right.
Like, if you and I are on an airplane together, maybe we'll play Smash on the Switch. Like, it's
with
that kind of thing.
With that other guy.
With the guy who we played...
Yeah, Smash DS.
Smash DS.
which is still one of the coolest things.
4 years ago.
Because we didn't even we just said nothing. We just set it up, and some guy just joined our channel or joined our lobby, and like literally we like looked up and we see like a DS like and a hand raise up from the thing.
True. It was really funny. Yeah.
It was really cool.
No, I'm not playing Magic the Gathering, and I'm not playing Shadowverse for I guess kind of the same reasons that James is talking about. I would have to put in a lot of time, and I'm not willing to do that in comparison to the games that I really want to concentrate on. I did used to play Magic like every kid my age, probably. We played it in middle school and all the way through high school. But I really respect it. It's super cool. I just don't have the time to also be doing that while playing all the fighting games. So
Yeah.
That's basically it.
Oh, man. Dude, that's honestly why.
Well, yeah, man, you have to pick a set of games. You can't do all of them simultaneously. You can like keep around previous games, but in terms of games that are still evolving, not just in patches but in how people play them, I really feel there's like 3 or 4.
Yeah, because I used to do those. I used to do those weekly Guilty Gear lobbies. That I would just play Guilty Gear with my viewers. I miss that so much because I haven't touched Guilty Gear forever. In fact, the most recent patch, I haven't played the game since that patch. So I'm like super kind of like out of date with it. It makes me really sad. You know, I mean, I know what happened in the patch. I've read up on it, but I just haven't played against a lot of it, and that makes me really sad. So
I mean, you have to choose. What are the games that you are currently mulling over?
So it was Guilty Gear. I wish I could play Unist. I haven't touched that basically at all, right? Street Fighter V, nice to keep track of that. BB Tag, Tekken, Soul Calibur, and upcoming Smash. That's like
okay.
7.
So 6 for now, 7 later this week.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Well, which of those games do you think that you can credibly commentate for money?
Commentate for money.
Yeah,
so from
it's
a
your job.
financial perspective,
It is your job.
probably Street Fighter. Dude, because I was sleeping during the Tekken World Tour finals, I had a dream that after the tournament ended, that I was like, I will be commentating this next year. So, I mean, in my dream, I guess I really want to commentate Tekken.
Okay,
so
that seems doable.
Yeah, so maybe Tekken. I mean, Smash would be nice, but like I said, I don't want to just like... Oh my god, the cats have been chewing on this? Really? Oh, jeez.
What, on this?
Look, you can see like they
right.
killed the little backing on
Yeah.
here. It's not, they haven't damaged the trophy.
Yeah.
They've just been killing the backing that I put on it. So, but I would like to do Smash, but I just don't want to step on anybody's toes.
I think that seems unrealistic. Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't want to just be like, hey, I'm James Chen, let me do Smash, because there's so many Smash people out there.
Yeah, man.
Although when I mentioned that on Twitter, a whole bunch of people are like, dude, we would totally want you to come and do this.
It's not that I think that they wouldn't like allow you to come into the scene. It's more that there's a lot of institutional knowledge that is probably not there for you.
Yeah.
It would take a long time.
Yeah.
So it's like maybe quite a long ways off.
Mm-hmm.
Look, part of why I don't want to do commentary full time is that I want the luxury of just like playing a game that 10 people play in good competition and not being too worried about that. But if it is your job, then I feel like you have to be doing the things that are job opportunities.
It's true.
That's my thought, man.
Okay. Well, then I'll learn that, and when MK11 comes out, I'll learn MK11 as well.
Why not? Yeah. Anything else in 5-5 matchup?
Nope, that's all I have for 5-5 matchup.
All right.
Do you want to take one small quick break so I can gather all the FGC news and make sure I have all that ready to go? So
yeah, let's do it.
Okay. Let's be right back, guys.
Oh no, I've spent my woos.
Yeah, you did that too early.
Oh.
You blew your load too early, dude.
I did. It's
Okay.
long-term problem.
Okay, all right. Well, you should probably see a doctor about that.
No, it wouldn't be the first time.
Yeah, okay. Bzzz. Sorry about the hum. I'll have to check out Marduk. I'll check out Marduk when I get a chance. So.
It looks cool. Ooh, I got some slow blinks from Jasmine. Yay.
Oh, nice. Good stuff. She trusts you.
All right.
She trusts you because I'm not spending the whole entire time going, oh my god, get away from me!
Yeah.
Get away from me!
That would be a big tell.
Yeah, They would know then that there's a problem there, yeah. So apparently a bunch of people in the chat were saying that like Mango and Leffen are all going to learn Smash U so they can try to convert all their players to Melee.
Oh, dang, they're going to raid it?
Oh, man. That's actually funny. It's really, there really not is that much news
I really
going
didn't
on
see that
right
much.
Here. Yeah. We will talk about CPT stuff all next week, so that'll be the CPT pre-thing. So,
did you see that video where Donald Trump signed the new NAFTA deal, but he signed it in the wrong place?
Yeah,
And
everybody
just gave the looks like this is the dumbest idiot in the world.
I mean,
I mean, it's hilarious.
There's probably nothing that he's ever done without somebody's help or just making somebody else do it. You know what I mean? I just feel like he just needs his hand held the entire time, dude.
Like, if he had to put the toilet roll back on, he would put it on in the improper underhand fashion.
God. No, actually, he would just put the roll on top of the...
He would just stand it there.
He would just
for
stand
sure.
it there.
You're right. You're right.
He wouldn't know how to take the thing off,
You're
dude. There's no way.
Yeah,
he would probably just be like... And someone would run into the bathroom and then change it for him.
For sure. No, you're right, though. If y'all haven't seen that video, first of all, it's tough to watch, but hilarious at the same time.
Just because everyone's just giving him the look. Yeah.
The looks everybody else gives are just... They're so classic. They're just exactly what you need to see when you see that guy. Like their looks, their expressions... They make me kind of feel better that there are people in those positions of like high authority who also think that he's just the dumbest idiot. Mm-hmm. And he does have his own Sharpie. He has a pen. It's not a pen, it's a marker that he signs everything with.
Really?
Yeah, he signs everything with a Sharpie marker. And he actually got it specially made from Sharpie. And he said, I quote, "Make it look rich." Serious? I'm totally serious. He asked Sharpie to make a special marker for him that he could sign things with that has his name embroidered on it that he wanted them to make look rich. I'm not kidding. And of course I saw the version with the Curb Your Enthusiasm thing. It was the best. So I got to thinking, has there ever been a better punchline theme song?
Someone actually responded to you and said the Seinfeld theme song is pretty close.
That's like an intro. That's not like the punchline.
No, it's like there's the Blue Shell video where it's about to hit George Costanza and it ends with dum 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 dum.
Okay, yeah, all right, yeah, that's true.
But you know what the thing is? They're both by Larry David, right?
Yeah.
So it's just like it's like the same thing, dude. It's like the same thing anyway.
Look it up, y'all. I'm not making it up when it comes to the Sharpie. That's a true story. Boy, it's tough. So if you're wondering what happened, he just signed it on the wrong line. He signed it on the line where Trudeau from Canada was supposed to sign.
Right.
And so then after they've all three signed it, leader of Mexico, U.S., and Canada, they U.S. and Canada and Mexico both hold theirs up, and then Trudeau didn't hold his up because that's the one that Trump signed wrong. So he's such a class act that he didn't want to hold it up and be like, "Here's the dumbass."
Oh, jeez.
What? I mean... And Trump looks at Trudeau and he's like, all right, which one of these is the important copy? And Trudeau just like he literally looks at the camera. And he was just like, we each get a copy. and then he looks back at the camera.
Yeah.
Oh my God, it was so perfect. Anyway, all right, you want to get back to the show?
Yeah, okay.
It's so bad.
Okay. Ready?
Yeah.
Watch your food, David.
Welcome back to the television show.
That's right. Not much else to talk
television.
about that's going here. There's just a few kind of small things here, and Nathan is just sniffing at your food right now, and he will eat it because he does that. He eats everything. So, but just a couple of things. Some people in chat are watching. Right
You
now.
watched it? Oh yeah, it's genius. Like you couldn't have scripted it any better. Those actors, if you had actors, they couldn't have done it better. It's so perfect.
So a couple of things. So this is not great news. This is actually unfortunate news. But Crossover, the player from Dominican Republic, who qualified from the...
I'm sorry. I clicked on the link. That's in the chat if you want to see it.
Who qualified at the Latin America event, has had his visa application refused like 3 times or something. Like, was it one time? Was it one time or something?
I hadn't heard specifics.
Okay, but he just basically, he's had the visa denied. So far he's saying he can't make it. But Capcom had a follow-up tweet and was like, we're going to try to do what we can to get him over there. So unfortunately right now, Crossover status is unknown. I've heard some criticisms going, why did he wait till this point? Dude, you don't get a visa before you find out if you qualified or not, because that's expensive. It's a lot of money. It's a lot of process. It's not like they're just like, oh, let me do this.
This is like not a critique. This is not
this is like, it's not a real thing, right? Sure. So literally, but, for me, and I guess this probably should have been part of the 5-5 matchup stuff, because this just makes me angry. One of the nice things that I've been doing is, the FGC Locals thing, and I've had a lot of Latin American scenes and stuff like that, and we've been to Latin America a couple of times now, and it's just, man, it's so hard for those guys to get involved in this FGC and do all this stuff, and I know I make this soapbox all the time, but I just feel like we need to do more for them. I don't know what we can do, because obviously it's up to their government and stuff, but man, it's a really unfortunate situation that I feel like Latin America gets shafted in a lot of this kind of stuff,
Yeah, it's happened before. For Street Fighter, it happened for Injustice as well. I mean, it's not only Latin America. There have also been issues from players in Russia, even Leffen for a while in Sweden.
That's right, yeah.
It's not like one area that's only had all of them. But it does feel like it's happened quite often from Latin America. Now, that's a lot of different countries, all right? So, like, it happened from Brazil a couple of times. That's all I could think of, to be honest. But I feel like it's happened more than that. In any case, it sucks whenever it happens.
Yeah, Bloodhawk says that it happened for a player in last year's TWT finals as well.
Oh, dang, wow.
So there you go.
Yeah, it sucks. No, I wish that there was...
I know. How do they not? How is that a problem with Mena RD winning? Like, and the and their event taking place in the freaking official. Oh, hang on, we got 100 bits from Sub-Zero Smoke Rain. Woo!
Are you a Baihan Sub-Zero? Let me know. Important question. Yeah, it was weird. The tournament there was actually in a government building, so you would think that there's some recognition.
And their commissioner of sports was actually there.
Oh, that's right.
And so it's actually crazy. So I don't know. It's a frustrating situation to have to see them deal with all the time, and seeing how, and that's why I feel like, in a way, obviously I've been kind of pushing for the FGC to get bigger and all these things, and some people are like, well, I don't like the esports stuff, let's just keep it grassroots and everything like that. And one of the reasons why that I'd like to see it get bigger is not just for we can all be rich, but it just to make it so that it's a thing, because obviously if you want to travel for sports, you can kind of do that a little bit more, right? But for esports, it's not quite the thing.
God, that's right. It happened to Ketchup and Mustard when it came to the
Injustice Pro Series. That's right.
So that was just very, and that was UK to the US, which you would think would have like special relationships.
Right.
But what a genius idea from Paco Stevens.
What does he say? What does he say?
Have the finals on an aircraft carrier over international waters, so no visa issues.
That would actually be
genius.
Sick. That would actually be pretty sick.
All right, buddy.
Well, that's cool. So, I mean, I guess like Mortal Kombat and Injustice, NRS do a good job helping with Latin America. But I guess
again, even this year, Ketchup and Mustard, and last year, one of the Russian players.
I think they go down to South America and like hold tournaments down there and give them prize money and stuff like that.
They did. Yeah, they did the last couple of years. Yeah, that's true.
Okay. But yeah, that's
anyway. It sucks. It really sucks. That's a much bigger issue than something that just fighting games can tackle. That's much more about law and esports more broadly. So that's.
Right.
I don't know if there's going to be a solution to that anytime soon. I certainly hope so, but there's a lot of problems all over the place, and our current governmental situation is not helping that out. Not helping that out at all.
Yeah.
Yeah, and by the way, the UK is going to be totally boned if they continue doing what they're doing. So, just maybe get the technology to just beam in ketchup and mustard. Actually, UK to here should be fine. UK to continental Europe, maybe good luck out there.
Okay. Well, I mean, I hope they can resolve the situation.
Of course.
I hope crossover can make
Capcom put out a message saying that
Right.
they are
looking
into it. I don't know exactly what that entails. I don't know if they can do anything, but whatever can be done, I hope that they're doing. Because it would really be too bad if he couldn't make it. That's such a big moment for him, that he could do it. So if he cannot do it, then the second place finisher from the Latin American regional finals would go in place
instead.
of him.
Okay.
And that is Picaro.
Okay.
And then if from Peru, I think. And if he can't go, then it's Doomsnake.
So Doomsnake obviously could make it.
Doomsnake is already going to be there for the last chance qualifier.
Right, exactly. So that's tough because now Picaro has to wait to see if it gets resolved before he can do his visa stuff.
Hard to
God,
do.
it's so irritating.
Sucks.
Yeah, and again, it's just one of those things. I mean, yeah, I mean, it's a tough hurdle. Obviously, it's not solved in much bigger areas than the FGC, so it's not like the FGC is going to be figuring things out, you know what I mean? But it's unfortunate.
It sucks.
I would love to see Crossover be able to make it, because like you said, it's such a big moment for him to be able to represent, his country and everything like that. So
I hear ya.
Oh, man. Okay.
Oh, yeah, the EU's bringing in some kind of wild copyright restrictions that hopefully don't actually end up working out, but it seems like they might. So if that's true, then that's going to be a major problem for the internet in general.
Really?
Yeah.
In the UK or?
That's in the EU.
In the EU?
Which the UK won't
so
have to worry about.
They're going to try to apply all of Tumblr rules to the UK, basically?
Well, I mean, in a way, and it's going to be... It's about copyright. So, I mean, the idea of it is to try to keep it so that copyright owners can control their works better. That's the idea of it. But in practicality, it just means that the internet's basically not going to work in the way that it has for a long while.
Okay. Yeah, well, I mean, again, I hope Capcom can help. They are a big company. They probably have a little more say on trying to help with that. But I know they pushed for some of those Brazil players in the past, and that did not work out as well. But again, it's crazy that it's the Dominican Republic, which had Mena RD win.
Right.
And they're perfectly aware of it.
And they're also sending Kaba.
Yeah,
So Mena and Kaba will both be there.
They've already been to the U.S., so they've already had their visas.
I suppose
I'm sure,
that's true.
You know what I mean? They've already been.
But the fact that they're going there, and this is... Doesn't that attest to the fact that it's something that is credible and legit?
And it's not like Mena RD pretended that he came back with money.
Right,
he came back with that money, right? So
for sure.
Speaking of that money, though, did you see that tweet from Rewind?
No.
Where he showed the picture of, Sonic Fox avatar saying, "You have been sent $10,000." and like Sonic Fox is just like,
Sonic Fox avatar, like his...
Yeah, something like that. But it was like, "Go fight cancer." And like all Rewind did was just put like a crying face on the tweet, dude. It was just like, I just looked at it, I was just like, God, that is so
Did he really
crazy.
Venmo $10,000?
I think so. Is it Venmo or PayPal or something, dude? But like $10,000.
Well, that's great.
It's ridiculous,
great.
dude.
I'm not sure I would have advised him to Venmo that, but that's great.
He did it through some method or something.
Well, yeah, I mean, Venmo allows you to put little emojis and whatnot. Anyway, however, he did it. That is really great. I'm glad that he followed through. He already said, of course, that he was going to do that. But that is really good.
For sure.
That is really good.
Let me see if I can find it and just because I retweeted it. Yeah, see, here we go.
Yeah, it looks like it.
Yeah, let me put it on the screen over here so people can see it. It's the craziest thing, dude. Like, there you go.
There you go.
You received $10,000 from Dominic McLean. Cancer donation cause. That's what he said. Yeah, there it is.
That's really nice.
Like, that's
what a nice
crazy,
kid.
dude.
He's such a cool dude. You know, I mean, we could have ended up with a real butthole as like one of the new best players of all time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's such a great guy.
I know.
It's so cool.
It's good.
It's so
good.
cool. Yeah.
And he just by virtue of who he is, it just promotes this kind of inclusivity and all this stuff. And he's a good person. Yeah. He's cocky, but you have to be cocky when you're in that position. And I feel like you just have to be cocky to get good. You know what I mean? Like, I just feel like that's kind of like...
I think that's true to some extent, but if you've been one of the best players in the world since you were like 14 years old, I just feel like it's inescapable to become cocky.
Absolutely. Absolutely. You know? So, okay.
Like, man, when I won Player of the Year in my roller hockey league...
This wasn't the bar mitzvah circuit?
No, although I was 13. And... it might have been in a league that contained an age range.
That's right.
From 9 to 13.
You're beating up on all the 9-year-olds.
Which meant that I might have just been skating over the tops of their corpses, essentially. I was like 10 inches taller. But man, I was cocky, for sure, because I just won the award. How could you not? Mm-hmm. How could you not? You know?
I was cocky.
I'm just like Sonic Fox.
Elementary school, because I was like clearly the smartest kid in my school, so, you know.
Well, I understand.
That's just how it works.
I believe me. I understand exactly the feeling. You know.
Oh man! But shout outs to Sonic Fox once again. So, also just wanted to mention Street Fighter V apparently went on the location test in Japan for the arcades.
Yes, so that was over the past weekend, in fact. And I was trying to pay attention to see if there was video footage that showed changes, because in the past, when there has been like a mid-game loc test, right? Like during the game, they're already out, now we're going to put it on an arcade version. There have been changes in the arcade version.
Yeah.
So the footage that I saw didn't seem to show anything specifically, and I haven't heard other people say that.
Right, otherwise people would have been talking about it for sure.
So haven't noticed that. But it's nice that there's going to be an arcade version. What do you think about the name?
What is it?
It's Street Fighter V Type Arcade.
Type Arcade?
Yeah, click on the thing.
Oops, I killed it already. Shoot, I killed it. Whoops. That's my bad.
My arcade just died. My tablet just died.
Oh, okay.
Forgot to charge it.
Type Arcade, huh? I mean, are they trying to make people think it's like a shooter, right? Because there's a shooter named R-Type. So it could be like Arcade Type.
I think that's a more charitable explanation than I would have given it.
Type Arcade.
Type Arcade.
It's such a Japanese name. So one time me and my friend were trying to make up like names of Japanese games because they come up with crazy names like Ephemeral Fantasia, you know, and stuff like that. One. Yeah, so we were just making up. I can't remember. I made up one that was just like so fantastic.
Under Night Inverse?
Yeah, Under Night Inverse. EXE late square bracket ST closed square bracket.
Bizarre.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's the name. But like I said, it doesn't seem like there's any changes. I think we all expect there to be changes in Season 4 when that comes out, but presumably they'll have the ability to update the arcade version.
What do you think? I mean, do you feel like it coming out in the arcade is going to make it even more so that Street Fighter will once again be dominated by the Japanese overlords?
I do.
Yeah. Okay.
I do indeed. I don't think that it's going to be as bad as it once was in previous games. I think that ship has kind of sailed to some degree.
Right.
It'll never be that strong. But, yeah, I can imagine that having a positive impact for their scene. Sure.
Okay.
Sure.
Okay. So what about Street Fighter 3? What would you name the fourth sequel to that? Because obviously there's Second Impact and Third Strike. So it always has to be like Fourth Crashing. You know, something like that, right?
Quadruple Quash.
No, it has to be second or third, right?
Doing it.
It has to be fourth something. It has to be fourth something. Fourth Quash. Fourth Quash.
Why Quash?
Because that's what you said.
Well, only because it went with quadruple. What?
Fourth Crashing. Quadruple Quash. Marriage.
Quash is a real word, by the way.
What brings
I didn't make that word
together to die.
No, quash is a real word.
It is. It's a real word, but it's not meaning what you were.
No, it kind of is. When you
stifle
motion,
like
motion to quash.
Yeah.
It's a legal thing. You're quashing it. All I'm saying is quadruple quash is basically the best.
Actually, it's not too bad.
It's actually a great name.
Quadruple quash. Quadrilateral quash.
I'm the Sonic Fox of coming up with names like this.
You know what, actually? I'll tell you one thing. One of my favorite words that you never get to actually see anybody use enough is the word defenestrate. So what if we just call it fourth defenestration?
Why not?
I think that would work.
Makes sense.
Basically throwing someone out a window, right?
I know what defenestrate means.
I know. But there was just one time, like, Charles Barkley got drunk and he threw someone out of a bar, like, through the window.
Oh, my God.
And I was like, yo, I can use the word defenestrate. I can actually say Charles Barkley defenestrated somebody. Yeah.
Any other news, or we just...
that's actually... I mean, surprisingly, because we didn't get a chance to go over news last week either, because we were so busy talking about Street Fighter 4, Street Fighter 5 wish list. I went back 2 weeks. There's just not much happening because I think everyone's kind of at this winding down fighting game season kind of stuff.
Yeah, basically.
The new Dragon Ball patch came out, and it sounds like it's changed quite a bit.
It does sound pretty different.
There's a lot of fundamental changes too, like vanishing against a super dash will actually beat the super dash now. Like before, it was like the super dash would like swerve around and hit him or something like that. Or I can't remember the whole thing. So, we should also mention Bestaban, who was in the chat. He has done a new documentary for Spooky. So, that's out. Where is that available? Esteban?
That's on NoClip, right?
Esteban. Where is that? Oh, it's no clip. Okay.
Yeah.
Although someone did point out that they failed to include the clip of the Mr. Victor Font Techno, which
that would have been funny.
I do think was probably a misstep here.
There is a lot of me in that doc, and I didn't expect that.
I didn't actually watch it.
Oh, I really recommend it. Yeah, especially because I'm in
I haven't watched it yet.
A major part of it is when Level Up had the stream failure in the grand finals of Evo, and then Spooky lobbied to get himself to stream Evo the next year. That's a good chunk of the doc, and part of that was how at final round, Spooky streamed it and did a great job, and was trying to angle for it, and so I was commentating at that event. And I think that's probably why there's a lot of me. But I didn't even remember this. Esteban caught a clip where I'm kind of whispering to Arturo about how Spooky said that he wants to try to get Evo.
Whoa!
And I guess Spooky must have told me to be mention that on the air or something. I have no memory of that at all. I was very surprised to see that clip. But I guess that must have been what Spooky told us. And anyway, it was very interesting to see. I didn't even remember my history that I was apparently directly involved in. So I recommend it, even if if that was ancient history to you and it was before your time, or if you lived through it, like I did, directly in the midst of it, somehow not remembering a substantial chunk. It was really good. And of course, Esteban does a really good job on the editing. It looked really nice. I mean,
it could have been that he just got you to do it recently and just re-edited in there at the Gamer's Choice Awards.
I lost 25 pounds. That was when I was really skinny then, and that's unusual for me. I was probably 140 pounds. I was really. For a while there, I just got really skinny. I was not eating very much, and I was not feeling super great mentally, but I was exercising a lot at the same time, so I just.
So Bestaban put the link up there. Let me throw it.
Yeah, I don't think I look. I'd rather also not be where I am right now, although I haven't been doing very much about that. But there's a happy medium in there that I think I prefer instead.
I hope people do notice that I've lost a lot of weight.
You have, for sure.
I've lost almost 30 pounds.
You definitely have.
In almost maybe half a year, or something like that. Yeah. So I hope people actually.
I am 5'11".
See that. Let me see.
So again, I recommend it. Oh, it was also really cool seeing the clips of Spooky's former apartment basement.
Oh, the actual Team Spooky home,
basement.
right?
Yeah, exactly.
That Min was living in and
Min
stuff
lived
like
there.
that. Yeah.
Josh and Arturo spent a lot of time there.
Yeah.
And I actually went there one time. So
you've actually been there before.
I was there.
Okay, nice.
And that clip was on the dock, and it was very very fun to remember.
So go here, and you will be able to watch it. So
I went there after SF4 got big, and this was probably the spring of 2010 or the fall of 2009. It was one of those two. And it was after SF4 was big. I was doing really well in tournaments for it, and I happened to go visit friends in New York. And so while I was there, I thought, hey, I might as well go hang out with these dudes who seem like they're pretty good at this game. Let's play. And so we played, and we hung out. We did some streaming. We played a bunch of Super Turbo as well.
Oh, nice.
It was really fun. Okay. We had a blast. But that was 8 years ago.
Dang.
8 or 9 years ago.
Okay. Good stuff. Yeah, but you should definitely check that out. Again, Esteban, because I was the only person that ever pronounced his name correctly, including Esteban. But you should definitely check that out. It does good work. So he did that documentary a long time ago. That had like Lord Knight in it, and that one was called. I think that one was just called FGC, right? Okay.
that was streamed. Yeah, what I was just talking about, going to visit them, playing SF4 and Super Turbo. That was streamed. Spooky interviewed me. I played with DS and I want to say Arturo and maybe Josh, but I don't really specifically recall if Josh was there. Anyway, it was a lot of fun.
The original Team Spooky house.
It was. Yeah. It was. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, it's true. Now they have to make Ultra Thin David and Ultra Thick David Twitter accounts. So there you go.
I've never been to Norway.
Never been to Why is someone asking about Norway?
I don't know.
There's Norway. You've been to Norway before? First person to ever make that pun, I'm sure.
Probably. I've never heard it before. Yeah, I don't know if there's anything else. I'm sorry for patting that. That was a reflex right there.
What about the Shulk Discord?
Oh, that's hilarious. I forgot to bring that up.
Yeah, there's the one...
I meant to bring that up.
Okay, go for it. You tell the story. So.
Well, I don't know it very in depth, but apparently there's a Discord that is being used by Shulk players for Smash Ultimate. And in order to get in there, first of all, they have like a landing zone Discord, like a separate Discord that's like the landing page, and then if you are cool enough, then you can get into the Smash backroom. No, they're not literally calling it, but
then you can get invited
Discord
into
of the actual Shulk Discord.
Right.
And in order to get in there, you have to give them a written application statement, and you have to use a certain phrase that's in the end of the rules, because they want to know for sure that you read all the rules, and one of the rules is
to put that phrase in
Red
there.
Ladybird. It's some nonsense like that. Wow, it's weird. It's super odd. I kind of, if the goal is to like keep out people who you think are going to spam, then there's ways to do that.
It's moderation tools, right? Yeah,
but you don't need to have some secondary landing page Discord that you then require people to go jump all through these stupid hoops to get into the final Discord. What are you doing?
Because of our outro song, I'm going to make an emote with a bird, and I'm going to call it Red Ladybird.
I love it. I absolutely love it.
It's going to be a long type, but it's going to be UCTV
genius.
Red Ladybird. I have to do that now.
Love it.
I have to do that now. I feel like that's
it's weird, and it's not the only Discord that has something like that, although it's the most extreme example that I've heard. But you remember back in the day on Smashboards, they had the back room.
Yeah.
That we and the rest of the FGC thought was just the dumbest thing, to have like a secret cabal secondary aspect to Smashboards that you could only get into if you were a cool kid. I still think that was real dumb, but that's gone at least. There's the Discord problem, and I feel like Discord is just a worse. There's great things about Discord, but it's less efficient than just a forum where everybody gets together and says whatever.
Dude, it's hard to follow efficient. Discord. I actually have trouble with Discord. There's only really one Discord besides my own Discord that I really pay that much attention to, and it's just my FFRK one, because there's not that many people in it. So we can keep track of it. But like, I'm part of like the Johnny Discord and Guilty Gear and like all these other Discords, and it just goes, and then I can't keep up with them. you know.
Definitely, me too. Yeah, I'm in a few. I'm in some production Discords. I'm in the Soul Calibur ones, a couple of Soul Calibur ones, a couple of BB Tag ones, a couple of SF5 ones, the NRS scene one. Actually, 2 NRS scene ones. I think about it. It's just, yeah, it's hard to use in the same way that you use forums of old. It's got some good things to it, but it's got a lot of problems too. So, anyway, I thought that was dumb, but I'd love to be in it. Please invite me to it so that I can take all of their secret info and dump it out into the public sphere.
Didn't you do that on Test Your Mic one time?
I did do that on Test Your Mic one time. The Bane forum had some secret section to it, and I was already in it because I had been playing. This is Injustice 1. I was playing Bane, and I was in there, and I just got sick of it one day, and so I copied all of it and I dumped all of it. And it wasn't like great info, you know what I mean? I just thought it was like dumb to keep it secret from anybody. But yeah, there you go. That's something that I did. That actually, in retrospect, was I think right after the Snowden leaks came out, and I think I might have just been like mad and upset about secrecy in general. I think there might have been like more going on, you know, than just the Bane forum. But that's what I did.
What a weird situation.
Yeah, definitely weird.
I mean, also what's weird is you saw also the tweet of the guy who said, look, if you expect to play me in casuals, you'd better pay me because I have put in so much time in this. And yeah, that was ridiculous. Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much, I agree. Oh yeah, friendlies. Friendlies, my bad. Friendlies.
The old tongue was starting to get a little dry.
Yeah, I know.
I had more air though. I could have gone for longer, but tongue was dry. Yeah, that's
man.
horrible. What a dingus. What an absolute dingus.
Yeah.
You can teach people for money. That's fine. I'm not opposed to that. It's been going on for many, many years. But boy, don't phrase it like that.
You don't think that I put in hundreds of hours into this? And yeah, it was just, I don't know. You can phrase it in a different way.
You can definitely do that.
Yeah. I coach Melee guys. I teach for a price.
Yeah, again, I'm not.
Please don't hit me up asking for friendlies, as if I don't put all my time and money into this game, and you're gonna play me just for quote free unquote while learning from me.
The quotations on free. I think that's my favorite part of that. It's so absurd to him that he would do it for free that he needs to put them in quotes.
Yeah.
Man.
Okay.
Anyway, hopefully we don't hear any of that anytime soon. However, I have big news for you. Capcom Connect is going on
right now.
And they have special guests.
That's right. You should tune in for that. That's going to be at twitch.tv/CapcomFighters. As for us, that is the end of the Tuesday show today.
It is. Make sure that you watch the Gamers' Choice Awards on Sunday to see my acceptance speech equating goblins with all the trials and travails of the Jewish people over the last 2,000 years. And also make sure to watch the Game Awards on December 6th, where Paco Stevens will be personally introducing Mortal Kombat 11.
And how excited were people here that I actually got this show up at like noon the next day?
That was great. No joke, that was excellent.
I'm going to do it again. At least I hope I can. So we'll do what we can right now. Okay. All right, guys, let's bird ourselves out of here, shall we?
However, let's get out of here.
Direct feed bird.
I can't hear this one now.
Oh.
It's okay. It's okay. I can imagine it.
Just for you, David.
Red Ladybird.
The Red Ladybird.
Is that what it was? Something like that.
Yeah, this is the official bird that sings this now, I think, is the Red Ladybird.
Keep Ferritor in the game. They were so cool.
Ferritor was the most popular character. Everybody misses that character so badly, just like Armika.
Oh, yeah.